Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Don't think the guitar is going to be played at all during this episode
No,
up until the end.
I don't think they can even see it. It's in here. I have a guitar because I am anxious.
I wonder why. Welcome to a podcast will save this relationship.
Do it again.
Welcome to a podcast will save this relationship.
I'm Sarah, she, her.
I'm Josh, she, him, and on today's podcast, we do not play guitar. I know it's out right now. It's not brought up at all.
You're
genuinely.
so concerned about the guitar.
I don't want you guys having false expectations about what this podcast
honestly,
is.
most of this is chill too. We aren't even yelling that much at this one. This is a very serious one.
Somehow, yeah.
And I'm not even going to tell you not to watch it. I think everyone should watch this one. Which means that which means that all the comments are going to be like, this is the worst one y'all ever did.
Yeah. So, because we all talked about the election, we talked about
Ikiru,
which is a movie that Josh Mansplains.
Best movie ever.
Yeah, and we did Red Stories as usual. Timestamps are down in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the gosh darn bell. Rate us 5 stars on Apple and Spotify podcasts, and as well as Palestine, Congo, Sudan, and Lebanon links, as well as hurricane relief links are still in our link tree, so please go check that out. We also have Patreon and Buy Me Coffee at those websites /APWSTR.
And all of our merch goes to PCRF.
Yes, everything's down in the description or in the link tree. Enjoy the episode, guys.
Bye-bye. Okay. What the fuck is up, gamers? God has abandoned us. Joshua Chinlin here. Team Unity Fridays. Joshua Chinlin. We're playing Mario Party Jamboree. Joshua Chinlin over here. He's the guy in the green flannel with a Phoebe Bridgers t-shirt from 2022, I think. Right? Isn't that
21.
crazy? 21. Never mind. It makes my joke stupid because I thought it was in 2022, and I was like, why did she tour that one album for 2 years? She didn't, because I had my dates wrong because I'm stupid. Joshua Chinlin is here, everybody. Joshua, how do you feel now that God has abandoned us and the world will end soon?
I was gonna say, to quote George Carlin in a way that won't fuck up any of, in a way that actually makes sense on every other person on the planet.
Yeah.
Just fucking dandy.
Just fucking dandy.
Just fucking dandy.
Woo!
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Sarah,
let's get this bread.
Let me get the comments out of the way for you. Don't worry.
Let's fucking go.
So Sarah, why did we not post last week? Where was my free yummy content?
Oh, you know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it was? I forgot how to walk. That was what it was. I couldn't get up out of bed, and I was like, Joshua, please bring me the microphone from bed, please, so I can podcast from bed.
Oh, so this is my fault?
Yeah, and then Josh was like, well, no, I also can't walk. And we had to call Dr. House to come in, and it turns out it was mouse bites. We needed more mouse bites because we got bitten by mouse, and they tried to give us medicine drug, and it didn't work. So then Dr. House was like, hey, you get more mouse bites. That was actually what happened.
That was for real what happened?
Because if you're so fucking stupid as to not realize why we didn't post last week, you'd believe that, I think.
Yeah, I wrote in the community post, we wanted to write this with a clearer mind. And I will say, feel like, okay, well.
I'm not. You are, maybe.
I feel a little bit more calmer, than a little more calm compared to a week ago.
You know, I will say I was pretty bad last week. So
yeah,
I am a bit more calm.
So I think we were right to take a week off because.
Yeah.
I guess there's a lot of stuff I want to talk around it because everyone said their own little opinion piece.
Yeah, everyone said their shit already.
And I want to say for the record, I think that's another reason why we waited so long is that every person I've seen on the internet in the past 2 weeks has said at least one
thing I don't agree with.
Completely wrong thing. Yeah. It's just I don't want to add to that too much.
Yeah.
There's some obvious, slam dunks people could be making, but instead we're going to blame trans people, apparently.
Yeah, or we're going to, you know what, guys, we have to make a leftist, political party. And I'm like, yay! And they go, but we're not including disabled people. And I'm like, all right,
you just fucked it up. You fucked it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it. You know what, guys, we're not going to date men, but this movement is going to be rooted in transphobia. And it's very no, fuck, shit. And it's hard. It's been hard. It's been really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be funny. It's not gonna be fun. Maybe it'll be funny a little bit.
Yeah, and later.
In like a sarcastic, dark humor kind of way. And if you're not that, I mean, dark humor as in not like, oh God, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck. I've been sounding like Sarah Shower over the past like 2 weeks. Which, if you haven't seen any of Sarah Shower's TikToks, Joshua wouldn't because he's not a lesbian. But like, her TikToks are all just her being like, come on, man, come on. And it's just that over and over again.
Yeah.
And they're a delight because they're very much like that.
Yeah.
And I got off TikTok like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I only go on every once in a while.
Yeah.
And like when I went back on and I was like, I don't know what demographic to blame. And I honestly don't even want to blame a demographic.
Yeah, that's because that's not really productive, right? Like,
but the vibe is rancid.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yes.
And it's not a TikTok problem either. That's a demographic.
It's an internet. It's a
real life problem.
Yeah.
And it's just like 2016. And I feel genuinely one of the things that I'm being serious, like, I feel really bad for the people that have to experience this now that didn't really experience it during 2016.
Yeah.
Because everyone did at the time. But like, if you're 8 years old or something, or you're 12 or whatever, you don't get the full grasp.
Like, if you're becoming an adult right now and like,
I feel really fucking bad. Yeah. Because it is awful. Or like if you're just now, like, is your first election?
Oh God. Yeah.
My first election was 2016, and I didn't realize how much it traumatized me, actually, which sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Like I was telling people, and this is what I've been doing, is I've been gaslighting myself and being very ableist to myself with my chronic depression. Like telling myself, like, why can't I get up? Why can't I do things? Why can't I do? And like literally everyone in the world is telling me, calm down. It's okay to take a break, Sarah.
Yeah.
And you can't convince my stubborn ass brain to not just be here and be like, well, you're not literally podcasting every 2 seconds.
How dare you?
Well, you're failing the movement. It's like, no, I'm not. Fuck, man.
Yeah, it's been, and I think with the vibe being so rancid, it's such an obvious like on and off switch, like,
which is wild because I do remember being 18 in 2016 and being like, why is everybody being mean? And I was like, is it really just Trump is in the White House and he's a awful human? I mean, he's a racist, rapist, terrible, evil human being, the most evil human being anyone could, whatever. And he's also just so dumb and not experienced at all. And we voted for him over a competent, at least, woman.
Yeah.
Back then. And then we did it again. Someone I actually believe is more competent and more likable.
Yeah. And I will say too, like, I am gonna shit on Democrats in a little bit.
I'm gonna get more mad at liberals than I am at conservatives because I'm already at a baseline level of constant anger at conservatives.
Yeah, like,
that's what it is. I am more mad overall
at conservatives. But these past 2 weeks, and in retrospect, 9, 10,
when you
4
turn
years.
around and you say, all right, guys, well, what are we gonna do? And half of the people in your group are like, I don't fucking know. You didn't do shit. And then you're like, what are you talking about? And then they go, la, 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 la. I think I'm allowed to be a little bit upset. I'm like, I'm a little upset at you. And they're like, well, then why aren't you directing it at them? Why are you directing this at me?
Yeah, like, you guys are
there's a reason why we all can't get along, and it takes fucking two to tango in this situation.
Yeah.
And I really do believe everyone has a part to play in this.
Yes.
That's my thing.
I agree with that.
Getting online immediately after and seeing everybody's political, everybody, even people I've respected.
Yeah.
Their political opinions being just blaming others instead of sitting down and being like, yeah, maybe leftist messaging could have been better.
Yeah.
Maybe liberals should stop being little bitches about shit.
Can I give like
sometimes.
a bunch of points to The Onion for the past 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Because
for
they're
real.
the only news
people I like right
organization,
now.
which is really funny too. Because the CEO apparently was also. I told you that the guy that got for the reporter, like on the Onion News Network, it was also an NBC.
Yeah.
The CEO used to be a reporter too, and that makes it even more funny when like a former reporter greenlights the idea of like, all right, you can make a post that's like, just because something's your fault doesn't mean that you're to blame. You know. I'm willing to bet he's been so pissed the fuck off. Yeah,
absolutely. And now he's got to. I mean, he willingly threw his body into the arms of into the arms of which is made of knives of Alex Jones. He willingly threw his head in there and was like, "Yeah, I'll beat the shit out of this guy whose body is made with knives."
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll fight that guy.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I hate him so much.
That's the level of deranged I think we need is just, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
That's where I've been at.
That's where you've been at.
Does any of that make any sense?
I think like
20% maybe?
I'm going to give you 25%. I'll give you a quarter percentage.
Yay.
Let me try and decode what you just said.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. I'm here to decode what just happened.
I'm mentally ill.
Sarah's mentally ill. It has been beyond the election as well. I want to point out that it's been an exceptionally rough year for both of us. And it's not as important as I think the election was the thing that tipped us over into.
It's hard having a rough year and then also really not being able to talk about it because there's so many other issues that are more important.
Yeah.
That I genuinely feel like are more important.
Yes, I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
The things that I'm also upset with, and I would agree, to clarify as well, like, conservatives are for sure always going to be at fault for all the shit they're going to do. Democrats are at fault for not being effective enough and not running an effective campaign that actually riled up their fan base, because that's what it fucking is. Their voter base.
Leftists are at fault for not, for the lack of messaging and solidarity.
Yeah.
I will say it is a little bit that shit.
Yeah.
It is not everybody else's fault but leftists. There are some things that leftists have done that
everyone dropped the ball.
Yeah, I
think that's one thing I want to say.
Also, one thing, the only people I'm really mad at and not disappointed in are Trump voters.
Yeah.
I'm mad at them, and I'm mad at people who didn't vote. Never once on this podcast have we ever said don't vote.
Yeah.
Never once.
I think we've said it was hard to endorse Kamala because of her position on Palestine, as well as also doing a bunch more conservative, like, if we go for the independent voter, we're going to be solid.
Yeah, and this is why I critique the leftist messaging too, because during that time when I was saying that, I was reading a lot of material online that was like, Kamala said this, Kamala said that, Kamala is terrible. And when I actually went to go listen to her policies, I was like, wow, I'm more liberal than I thought. This sounds amazing.
Yeah.
You know?
Or if nothing else, like, better than the alternative.
Yeah. It's less of like and I think maybe even saying that leftists have a messaging issue and that liberals also have like a messaging issue, like on both sides they have a messaging issue, is remiss of me to say. Because it really is just a communication issue. Like, we are having conversations that don't matter.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
In a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that has been getting me and it's causing my anxiety to spike completely, is that fascism makes everything fast.
Yes, yeah, that's
true. And
we
need to communicate effectively quickly.
Yeah, because we only have 2 months until he's going to be signed in, and first day going to be doing a lot of actions that are going to fuck over a lot of people. Yeah.
You know, like we were talking about, like, why I don't understand why everyone thought there was going to be another January 6th if Kamala was elected. And that's why the Democrats immediately were like, sure, you got it, fam. Because they didn't want to, whatever. I didn't understand it because to me, January 6th happened. And this is so funny because I feel like this is a fact. But I'm saying to me as if it's my perception.
No, yeah.
When I'm like 90% sure this is a fact.
Yeah.
That January 6th happened under the Trump presidency where he declined security in the White House.
Yeah.
And he also like disconnected the security buttons.
And he wouldn't like, if nothing else, he was like, we don't need to send more people in. And like,
yeah, he refused to do that multiple times because he wanted them to be in the White House.
Until eventually, like, either it was getting too much or it was like it was obvious it wasn't going to work. So it was like, all right, we can call in some people. Like,
but I do understand the fear of something even close to that happening.
yeah.
I just don't understand the fear to the point that we just hand it over.
No, that's fair.
That doesn't make any sense to
You should
me.
go down fighting, if nothing else. Yeah.
I don't. If there's a chance you win,
Yeah, make it fucking.
I don't. You know,
Yeah.
like people are mad at voting for Jill Stein, and I hate Jill Stein.
Listen. Yeah, no. Yeah.
I said Jill. I don't like Jill Stein at all. I don't like that she pretended to be pro-Palestine when then she had a Zionist vice president,
Yeah.
and nobody knew until after they voted for her.
Can we take a sidebar with that real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
This is a failure of the system that I want to bring up, is that on every angle, every side,
Yeah.
no one had information on anything.
Yes.
On Republican side, they didn't know what tariffs were, and then they found out the day after when their bosses were like, all right, no bonuses, guys.
Yeah, because the tariffs are going up.
And that was an anecdote I saw on Reddit, so like who knows if it's fucking real or not. Probably
that's the
isn't.
thing. None of these conversations matter then. If
Yeah.
we can't verify any of this information,
Yeah.
we're just yelling at each other and getting each other mad.
Yeah.
And what's the point of that?
But yeah, we can definitely see though, at least that like people were looking up after the fact, what
Yes,
are tariffs,
that
like
is,
what are the
data.
policies that we're gonna have,
Yeah.
and then on Democrat side, people didn't even know that Joe Biden dropped out.
Yeah, a bunch of
That was
people
insane to
were
me.
like, what did Joe Biden? And I don't know if that's Democrats. It might just be people.
Yeah,
Like people in the United States voting.
yeah,
That's the information we have. Saying it's Democrats is like a insinuation, and also
true.
the same for tariffs. It's like, yeah, you could be a registered Democrat
and still
voted
vote
for Donald Trump,
Yeah,
thinking that everything's going to get cheaper for you, and that's the thing you most care about because it
Yeah.
affects you the most.
yeah,
And then you find out later, and then all of a sudden everyone's calling you an idiot.
yeah,
And
it's,
because you are an idiot, you're going to be like, well, I feel bad, so I'm going to go be a Nazi, I guess, where they
That's-
like me because they like idiots like me.
yeah, and it's
You know? I was like, well, damn, we lost an idiot. Personally, not fussed about it. Politically, I'm mad that a Nazi was created.
yes, yeah.
But personally, yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you in my community. But politically,
Selfishly, there's that. Yeah.
I don't like the other side's getting
Well, that's
bigger.
the thing too, is like, and we've been talking about it so much in the past
Yeah.
2 weeks, is that like there's a problem with empathy and kindness, and no one's like exempt from this. Like I definitely have had moments of like,
No, oh my
Fucking-
God, the past 2 weeks I've been screaming.
yeah,
I've been the most mad, hateful person, which is why you can't put me in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
When I'm like that
and also expect to make jokes when it's just gonna be
and have a fun time.
yeah,
That's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
yeah.
That's why I didn't do Thus Spoke Zarathustra for so long. I was so disappointed in the way everyone was reacting to Gaza. I couldn't talk about not Gaza for months.
yeah,
Months.
yeah.
I got through 10 episodes of that fucking podcast, and then I was like, whoa, I'm taking in all this dehumanization for the first, like I've been shielded by my southern democracy of let's believe in the government.
Yeah.
And I don't really trust the government, but it'll be okay. We're progressive. And then you find out that everyone that you care about hates Muslim people and brown people.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Like I don't even think they're people.
Yeah.
And then you're like, but they're dead.
Yeah. You can see.
But
yeah.
they're dying though.
Yeah. If you can look at photo,
But they're dying
upon
right
photo
now though.
Of yeah.
And then they're like looking at me like,
Yeah. Like so. Yeah. And it's really.
and yeah, I think it genuinely drove me insane. It's not important because what's more important is that they're dying. But it's
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And also, fuck you to the person. I know you meant this as a nice thing, but I don't say this to me. Don't say this. Someone was like, okay, guys, but please don't get complacent.
I'm not getting complacent. I'm going to be actually annoying for the next 4 years and probably until the day I die, actually.
Oh, man. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
Yeah, shit, I don't know.
and I
I
think
want
that's,
this to be fun. I want to
this
do
to
a
be fun
podcast
too.
that's fun.
Yeah, I want to do a fun podcast, but I think it is important to do a little bit of housekeeping in that way because
Yeah.
something that has been annoying me is the part of the vitriol, and I think it's interesting to see it happening slowly more and more in our section where we've really fostered a community that's like at least relatively kind. And then there's like 5% of people that do follow us, and then
they follow us. I don't think they're fans.
I don't think they're fans either.
I don't think they're a part of the audience that I want to cultivate.
Yeah.
But they do follow us.
And
they like the content because they demand it.
Yeah.
Even if they hate it, they at least are watching it. And
they want that sweet content.
They won't stop.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's two different things and I think this was a thing that really fucked us over the past few days. That candle TikTok that we posted.
Wow. It paid for rent.
But
so it's got to stay up.
But when one of the top comments is like, I just wish Sarah would stop talking.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love it.
And
I love it.
Seeing that person just be like a female fan being so misogynistic.
A 4B movement person.
Yeah.
Their only post on TikTok is about feminism. And they're, we're not going back, never Trumper.
Meanwhile, you speak on your own podcasts.
A woman, am speaking. And I think there are many reasons for it. Like, let's be honest. I've been in podcasting for years.
Yeah.
You've been podcasting for years. I've been a fan of podcasts for years. I have experienced listening to a podcast for the first time, hearing a woman's voice and being like, misogyny. That is misogyny.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you right now. You listen to a woman, you need to listen to women's voice more. I don't know how else to describe it. I grew up only listening to white male rock stars, classic rock, Journey, a bunch of shit. We didn't even really listen to Fleetwood Mac or...
That's pretty crazy, actually. Yeah,
we did, but it was mostly just white dudes singing about how they're in love with a 13-year-old or something.
Put in front of your face.
Yeah, it was just what my family, like a southern white family, listened to.
Yeah,
was mostly that or jazz. Was because my family was really into jazz because they were classical musicians, and I also weirdly a lot of Sade. But not weirdly, because she's amazing.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
But yeah, it was just that and that. And that was all we listened to. And Michael Bublé. But it was just very like... It was hard for me to get into listening to podcasts with women hosts. And then over the years, I did actually do it. So I understand where people are coming from, but you do need to know that it is misogyny. Like that is what it is.
Yeah.
Even if you're a woman, even if you think you're a feminist, saying this woman needs to change the way that she speaks and the way that she expresses her opinions, that you just don't like the opinion.
Yeah.
Or you don't like something about me. You don't like that I'm fat. You don't like that I look different than I don't wear makeup, or I don't do my hair every day. I don't. Or that I wear weird shit like a hat and orange glasses. I don't know. Like, you can find ways in which I don't think any of that stuff is weird. That's why I do it. And it makes me comfortable.
Yeah.
And if you do it too, I'm not calling you weird. But I'm saying that, like, if you feel like I'm a weird person.
Compared to conventional, convention and norms and all that shit. Yeah.
Or you pick up that I'm neurodivergent.
You think it's going to be an easier fucking target. And
I'm off my pills and I'm rambling, and I'm re-explaining myself a lot because I have a lot of anxiety when I'm off my pills.
Yeah.
But I'm newsflash to the people that are going to be like, personal responsibility, Sarah. You need to take your pills. That's not our fault you didn't take your pills. It's not your fault that I didn't take my pills. I don't know whose fault it is. Capitalism, Ronald Reagan. I didn't have fucking money for pills, bro. Yeah. They're expensive. The pills are expensive. Then get a job. Then you don't get a podcast.
Yeah.
That's the long and short of it. I will get a job.
Yeah.
I will. You're absolutely right, King. But then you don't get a podcast and you don't get to complain that you don't get the content that you also are bitching about.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it.
Yeah. And that was
started to turn the election into just being about us. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, that's on me because I made that transition. But I think the point that I want to make is...
They're both important, though.
Yeah.
And they're connected, I do think.
No, yeah, because it seems like, my takeaway right now is everyone's very angry.
And they're taking it out on people.
And you're justified in being angry, for sure.
You're not justified in the way that you take your shit out on people.
If it actually is harmful to even even a little bit. Yeah. Because there was another comment that really got to me, and I was immediately like, all right, I'm hiding you. You're not going to be able to speak anymore.
Which
and
is
it wasn't
crazy,
even about
because mostly if you're hidden, I did it.
Yeah, you.
I'm the one constantly doing it.
Someone said that, for the low effort content. This was in the past week as well, during a time when I said, "Hey, our mental health is bad," and
which I do feel like people take no podcast as an excuse to be like, fine, then I'm going to say what I want to say on the regular podcast at you, because my DMs aren't open. Most of my accounts are private because of people like this.
Yeah, and I want to say for the record, this is a very, very small
They're not even in the audience. So if you're a fan of us, you're not
cool.
a part of this.
You're fine, yeah.
Yeah, if you're someone that's watching and you're sitting there stewing about what we're saying, you're.
But the comment was basically for how low effort the content is, you guys should post more. And that was enough for me to be like, you lost your privileges to speak here.
You got about, listen, if that's the case and you do believe that, you got about 20 podcasts before I moved to a different state and changed my name and go into witness protection.
Yeah.
From myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got about 20 podcasts until the end of the podcast.
Yeah, and I think it's happening more because of that anger, I think is my point. And I really don't want to ever my goal, I guess, for the next 4 years, learn from every mistake, because apparently a lot of people are not going to learn from their mistakes. But also,
you can't do that. That's the thing to me that pisses me off the most is fascism is going to demand perfectionism from you. And to you too, dear listener, is going to demand perfectionism from every single human being on the planet, and no one will be able to give it what it wants. Because what it wants is something unattainable. What it wants is a stupid dream made up in the head of the guy that started the movement. Yeah. I'm not even talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about the first Nazi. I'm talking about the first fascist.
Yeah.
That put the first white supremacist, the first capitalist, Yeah. The first Christo-fascist. Not Christian, Christo-fascist.
Yeah, they are different, yeah.
The first person that decided to take the Bible and twist it to their own demented idea so that they can cast out whoever they didn't like.
Yeah.
That person.
Yeah.
That person's idea is now living on in the minds of a bunch of people that think that it'll do good for them over the idea of being kind to others.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're allowed to be mad. I'm obviously very mad.
Yeah.
I screamed that we voted for a rapist over a woman twice. And I even see leftists that I care about saying misogyny and racism didn't have a part to play.
It did, for sure.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it did.
Yes.
It absolutely did.
Even if if Democrats actually ran a better campaign and had better messaging,
she still would have had a harder uphill battle. That's because of misogyny and racism.
Because it's still here. Yeah,
no one, and they are going to a lot. No one can tell me that I bring up gender too much.
Yeah,
or that I'm a misandrist or I just hate men.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do you think that is? Fine, I'll admit it. I hate your guys' asses. I do. Ooh, I admit it. I do hate your guy. You don't you do. You say, "Oh my god, I can't believe she hates men. What a piece of shit." And then you turn around and you vote for Donald Trump, man. There's no reason a woman should like you.
Yeah.
When you're this miserable.
Yeah.
And you're this hateful.
And that's I think the big kicker is this is such a cult of it's
a cult.
It's a cult.
It's a cult.
And that's the real big problem here is that to get through to some of these people, I think some people are long gone, and I think people that are at the top
I thought
will
you were going
never
to say redeemable, and I was like, yeah, sure.
No, I think that's my thing though. Is I think there are a lot of people who are redeemable. But it's going to take a lot of patience, a lot of effort, and I don't blame anyone for not wanting to do that.
Especially right the fuck now.
Yeah.
It's really hard to it is like trying to take care of a fussy baby. Like they're
Yeah.
just hitting you in the face. They're throwing shit at you. And you're just like, I just have to get this diaper off of you and everything's going to be fine. And you're very fragile, so I can't hurt you. And I wouldn't hurt a regular person also, but I also wouldn't hurt you. But, you know, whatever. I want to throw something at a wall, but I can't do that in front of you because that would hurt you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Okay? I want to do that, but I'm not going to. I have to whatever, and I just have to take you hitting me and pulling my hair and throwing food at me all over me, and I can't have the mental breakdown that I want to have right now. And I'm forcing myself not to, which is causing the mental breakdown to get bigger.
Yeah, it's bottled up and eventually
for when you're gone.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is hard to do that, and I totally get it. A lot of us, we didn't sign up to be mothers to these children.
Yeah.
We didn't sign up to be mothers to these children. And lots of people who didn't sign up to be mothers are going to end up being mothers literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of where it is. And I think the only way out is trying to figure out what the fuck you can do to your neighbors, for your neighbors.
Yeah.
To figure out how to make their lives better, and how hopefully the golden rule idea is they are also thinking that and they can help you as well.
Yeah, and eventually you start building community, you start building like companionship between your neighbors, your city, you know.
And I do think community gardening is important.
Is a
actually
net good at least. How about that? Like,
my God, the amount of people I've read online that are just like, people think this is organizing and that's damaging somehow.
It's people getting together and doing something. That is organizing.
We're not saying get together and sing Kumbaya and it's going to fix everything. I'm saying do things that make you fucking happy so you don't die.
Yeah.
Because then there's less bodies to fight against this stupid shit.
Yeah, and I'm not agreeing with Robert Evans right now because he had a really bad take about ADHD. Like, even people that I look up to have had horrible takes in the past 2.
And that's also very demoralizing.
Yeah, like, oh, great, cool.
Yeah.
Like, as someone who like, I have to push myself to, like, edit the show within, like, today it's going to be, like, I'm going to...
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's definitely, like, I should, if I was like a quote unquote a neurotypical person, I probably would be able to knock it out in like 3 hours.
I don't think you. I don't think you would. I think a neurotypical person would be like, I'm not doing that, and then they would leave. You're neurodivergent with ADHD. You're like, yeah, I could do this in 3 hours.
And then meanwhile, it's like, it's actually gonna take 6 hours because I'm gonna need an hour break in between every hour. And
I really should have realized I was heading for a mental breakdown like 2 weeks ago when I was like, I'm reading every book. I'm doing so good right now.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm just going to start a course and I'm going to get my certificate in this thing.
Yeah, and slowly but surely.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to do all these projects and start all these things and everything's going to be great. And now I'm here and I'm like, I literally can't do anything. Yeah, I fucking wonder why, you dumbass. You overloaded yourself, you dumb freak.
Yeah.
And of course I don't realize until when I'm in it and I'm like, oh,
weird. Why am I not doing stuff that actually makes me happy right now? That's weird.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is. Could be depression, maybe.
Yeah, but the point with Robert Evans, like, before I saw that tweet, I was someone in the Discord, which the Discord also is really good proof that the community is really good here, and I'm very happy with who we have in the audience. But
it's both things. There are people that are really, 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 really amazing.
Yes,
that make me want to do this for the rest of my life.
And I think they're a majority of people.
Yes, it's most people. It's most messages, and I honestly feel really bad talking about the bad messages because I don't want to give them the most attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then it inspires them to make more shit like that.
Yeah, like talking about politics now. And also talking about the shitty people that watch us.
Yeah.
That aren't fans. This video is gonna get like 30 dislikes or something.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
This video is gonna be downvoted to all hell.
Yeah.
I just know it before I put it out, which makes me not want to do it.
No, yeah.
But yeah, then there are people that do that and make me not want to do this.
No, yeah, that's
and it's
the thing.
A crime to everybody else. It's literally just the kid acting up in class that ruins it for the rest of the class.
Yeah. But so they linked to I think it Could Happen Here, and I think the episode was titled It Happened Here.
Yeah.
Basically, like, when it comes to organizing, like, I think one thing that a lot of people don't think is that they don't have a skill.
Yeah.
But everyone does have a skill. Like, someone on the show, like, was talking about how they what is it? they like literally they went to a meeting and all they did was unstack chairs. Like that's a skill.
Yeah, that's a skill.
If you can make jokes and like write them out and like perform them and they have a little bit of a leftist take to them, that's a skill.
That's
like
a
if
skill.
you can write, if you can film, that's
that's a skill.
Yeah.
And even if like I know a lot of the conversation around this, the disability community on Twitter was like, you're not including disabled people here. You should be masking, like if you are able to.
Yeah, like
most of the time you are able to.
Yeah, for COVID.
Yeah, for COVID, you should be making these organizations should be accessible, and we should be sticking up for the people who are disabled who also want to organize.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We should make it accessible for them.
Yeah,
because the fact that a lot of these organizations are not accessible is a fucked up issue, and it is a genuine criticism.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my one thing.
And I think that's the thing is that...
And it's just very ironic that he said that, and then he turns around and is like, ADHD doesn't actually fuck you up. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here reading his things, and I'm like, he's the guy that got me into learning about 8chan and 4chan.
Yeah, and he was on
Nazi
going back
shit.
to talking about like the podcast we listened to. I didn't realize this. He was on like one of the last episodes of Harmontown, and I remember listening to that and was really
It was one of the best episodes of Harmontown. It was post 2016 too.
Yeah,
where he was talking about the rise of Nazism on the internet.
Yeah.
Neo-Nazism on the internet, and it was so fascinating and sent me on years-long research about this. And it has deeply impacted my life. And that's the guy that is getting online and saying shit like, you need to organize, you need to go outside and use your 2 legs to walk outside.
No, yeah.
And pick shit up with your 2 arms. And also, if you have ADHD, you're lazy. Like, oh my God. I don't know how you don't have a mental breakdown. With shit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
And I hope he reflects and he gets better. I hope he does.
Yeah, I hope so too.
He's a great mind, and he should.
And that's another thing is like when we talk about
resource.
redeemability. Like I think a lot of people like are redeemable.
Yeah.
Like and I think you can admit. I think there's a culture as well of like we're so stubborn we won't admit when we make mistakes. And
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's sad. If nothing else, this election, like the real effects it's angering, of course, but mostly it's sadness. It's a deep sadness for how little.
It's grief.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like
it's grief.
And there's been like 1,000 wake up calls.
Yeah,
since the fucking like millions since like the 80s, 1,000 since 2016, tens of thousands, and not once did I pick up the phone. Even like I picked it up and like listened to it for 3 seconds, like, oh, that's bad, and then I just fucked off. And I think that's a problem that I did. I think I wasn't as.
I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people though are scared.
Yeah,
like I think you did that because you're scared.
Yeah,
and I think that of a lot of other people, like I think conservatives vote for Trump because they're scared. Sometimes I think it's pure hate for some, and I think it's fear for others. So like how it would impact them if they didn't vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Or not, sort of, and I think a lot of the discussion around it of like, oh, I'm mad at women in abusive relationships who vote for Trump because their husband votes for Trump. I feel like a lot of it is valid anger. Because, they did hurt a ton of people by voting for Trump.
For sure.
They committed actual harm.
Yes.
Yes. But then another part of it is, why doesn't she just leave?
Yeah, and then you're showing...
Which is...
That's...
You don't know that much about abuse.
Yeah.
You don't know that much, how deep it gets into people's brains.
Yeah.
Literally, my friend called me, not knowing the extent of my childhood abuse, described a situation that he was dealing with his friend, because all the narcissists are, I guess, getting real...
Yeah.
They're real up there right now.
Yeah, narcissists totally in right now.
And, maybe she's not a narcissist, maybe she's got something else. But people that like to take out their emotions on people and have like a supply.
Yeah.
He's realized that he's been, one of his friends is like treating him
like that.
badly.
Yeah.
And he described the behavior to me, and I had to tell him, honey, that is abuse. Your friend is abusing you.
Yeah.
And I don't normally do that. Usually if my friend is having an issue with one of his friends that I don't know, I try to be pragmatic about it.
But you had enough information and you have enough experience.
This is abuse. She's triangulating people against you. She's trying to make you feel like you don't have any friends. She's trying to pressure you out of your job.
Yeah.
That's abuse.
That's abuse.
And she's being significantly disrespectful also.
Yeah.
Which is grounds for a friendship breakup. And I didn't realize that triggered me and put me back in my childhood until after. And it's not his fault because he doesn't. Of course not. No, he didn't know the extent.
Yeah.
But
it brought you back there.
It brought me back there. And now I'm sitting here being not able to do anything.
Only there's a word that we could use for that. Yeah.
Being not able to do anything.
Yeah.
Because of this thing that happened in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm also sitting here and I'm realizing this is happening on a widespread scale.
Yeah. Which I guess is why I feel like, and I know it's weird to talk about ourselves, but like the anecdotal evidence
is important. And this, and also, it's not even, we're not even trying to make a thesis statement. We're trying to explain we're not politicians. Yeah. We're not political activists. We're not even we're not even political activists. We're not political scientists.
Oh yeah.
We're not any of that. We don't know anything.
Yeah, we just make dumb jokes.
We're expressing the opinion to Americans. And if the rest of America decides that the opinion of one American doesn't matter, okay. Sure. You want to give up on creation and art. All your art needs to just be relatable to... It needs to be AI Google. Generated. Yeah, like it just needs to be relatable to a corporation or you specifically. Then yeah, okay. That'll be what the future is. But you can't also yell at us for not making content, fam. Yeah. It's one or the fucking other. Yeah. Do you want a reality that doesn't exist and completely caters to you? Yeah. And of course I'm using the royal you. I'm not talking to individuals that don't want that. She's talking to me. I'm the one leaving all the comments. I know that there's going to be a group of people that are like, I can't believe you're talking to me. And I'm not. Yeah, no. I'm talking to a couple hundred people at most. Like I was walking around just saying, and this is pure born in Atlanta ass bullshit, quoting Outkast 24/7. Just being like, walking around reading shitty comments and being like, y'all don't want to hear me. You just want to dance. Yeah. Just walking around saying that shit. Yeah. Like, I'm going to continue to say what I want to say. Yeah. You're going to find me annoying. There are going to be times where I can't pay for my bills and I'm going to be annoying. Yeah. And I'm going to be loud. I'm going to say my thoughts over and over and over again because that's what I do when I'm not on Concerta. Yeah. Is I over-explain because I'm worried you're not going to listen to me. But I do have to remember, if you're not listening to me right now, you were never going to listen to me in the first place. There's nothing I can do to make you listen to me. Yeah. And I'm saying this not as a woman with 6 years of podcasting experience, as a woman with 27 years of people not listening to me experience. Yeah. And the most infuriating part about this in this point in time right now is it feels like it's been confirmed. Any question of, does misogyny exist? Is the patriarchy real? Are these feminists just making a fuss over nothing? It's gone for me. Yeah, no, it's pretty obvious. Even they gaslit us so bad, even post Hillary Clinton, it felt like, well, maybe she was just a bad woman. But her emails. Yeah, I was like, well, maybe she's just a bad person. Yeah, she is. But also, he's the worst person. Yeah, if you want to compare and contrast here, yeah. Christ, man. And I really do think that I do want to mention the genocide is one of the biggest issues, I think. Yeah. It is. And I can't believe it's like out of a lot of people's analysis, but I can because they've been ignoring it. Yeah. I think it's since October. Yeah, it's the thing. And the sad thing is that people care more about internal American affairs versus foreign policy. Yeah. Because again, we're a culture of individualists. That's what we've been taught to believe since day one of being born in this country. Is you have a right to land liberty.
And maybe finding happiness, but I don't know.
No, the pursuit of property.
The pursuit of property.
That was the original. Pursuit of happiness is,
Yeah.
But yeah.
We're very individualized. We're very, what am I thinking? And being individualized leads to a little bit innate selfishness.
Yes, well, a lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of it. And like, no one's immune from it. I'm not immune from it.
And it's wild to me because I've spent the last year also learning a lot about other cultures because the genocide, October 7th, made me realize I don't know that much about other cultures.
Yeah.
And in my mind, in my ideology and system, in my body, I was like, you know what? I gotta fix that. Let me go learn. Do I know everything? No. Will I ever know everything? No. So why are we talking about it? This is a useless conversation. Why would I ever... That's a really dumb thing to ask. But I want to learn a little bit.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to people who also want to learn. And that's, I think, where I'm at right now. There's a lot of people in America that have dehumanized each other to a point where everyone else is stupid and I'm the only smart one. And then if you call them stupid, they say that you're a classist. And I'm not. I'm saying I'm scared for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit. You can very easily be manipulated. I can be manipulated too.
Yeah.
But you can be very easily manipulated, and I'm scared for you. And I want you to have the tools to be able to live freely as you. This isn't even an individual versus community thing. The way to get the information to you is, but you being able and like developing the skill of reading.
Yeah.
And I think also the human the human right of reading.
Yes.
And literacy.
Yeah.
The human right of knowing who the people in power are and what they do for you or what they're supposed to do for you. That's a human right. And you should be able to know that.
The reason for bringing that up is that there was that statistic block that was like, I don't remember what they were, but it was really disheartening.
Is it like most Americans are functionally illiterate in that they have a reading they can read, but they have a reading comprehension level of like the 5th grade.
Like, not high school level or even like sixth grade level. You know what I mean? I think 4th grade level is the one that everyone uses because I think there's and this probably isn't true, but people say that like newspapers are written at a 4th grade level.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like people are just saying numbers, I think.
Yeah. So mostly one to confuse you. Yeah.
Someone in the comments is going to actually like give the actual numbers.
And I appreciate them for giving the actual numbers and linking probably to that
study.
Yeah.
But also like be sure everyone is bullshitting. Every single person.
Yeah.
I am sometimes. Josh is sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of times, honestly, because we get up here and we yap for 4 hours. Everything that we say is not going to be correct. 90% of it is wrong. And is mainly to just entertain you and make you laugh and make your drive to work be good.
Yeah.
Instead of bad.
Yeah.
It's mostly so you don't listen to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
It's mostly you just listen to this instead of Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing. A lot of people kept saying that like there needs to be a Joe Rogan on the left, and I don't necessarily agree with that. But I do think there's a problem that like, because it's really funny too. Because
Vosh started that.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, there needs to be a leftist Joe Rogan, and that guy. There was a time where we watched him, and now I'm like, his takes consistently have been going not good at the very least.
Yeah, definitely gotten off of that wagon for sure.
Yeah, for real.
But no, like the idea that like, and this is something that pissed me off on a normal level because I literally did a job to see this. Fucking when conservatives are gonna say that like, oh, they're being censored when they have the most views, they are most likely to be pushed by like Facebook, YouTube.
They have the most money.
And they're gonna lie to you and say I'm getting censored when they like argue for why they want to say the N-word,
that's wild. And it's wild.
So I mean, that's like kind of part of the bullshitting, right?
Or like why they should be able to date a 14-year-old or something.
Yeah, you know, and
this is wild, man.
And then they're gonna also obfuscate it by saying, "Oh, I was joking," or "Was I?" Like, you know, and that's the thing too. Is like that's why you need a lot of these tools. I'm
just whistling to my dog.
Yeah, well, weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you're freaking out.
Yeah, because they conservatives do have way more of a foothold in media than I think a lot of people give them credit for.
Yes.
Like if you think about like even though there's more left leaning quote unquote like news networks, Fox News is the number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Or at least was the number one. I don't know if it still is, but
when Kamala Harris became the nominee, I think I realized that a lot of people call themselves leftists.
Yeah.
That actually do not uphold leftist ideology. They don't actually, not that they don't do it with their actions, but that they don't agree with it, actually.
Mm.
And a lot of those people have turned around and been like, you know what? Leftists are a problem. No, you just don't like them. You are actually a liberal, and liberalism is rooted in conservative ideology.
Yeah.
And I know the words are hard because they're confusing.
Purposefully confusing,
They're purposefully confusing and I know I don't want to sound condescending because I am genuinely upset that the words are confusing for people.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like,
it's not your fault.
It's not your fault the words are confusing and that you're confused.
People in power that fucked you over, yeah.
But the fingers are constantly pointing to the people that want your life to be better.
Yeah.
And it's the people that are constantly pointing at leftists and being like, you guys are the ones that lost the whatever. That's why I'm not mad at Jill Stein voters, actually. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, no, Jill Stein votes did not matter.
People didn't vote.
Yeah.
If you're a leftist and you hate Kamala or whatever and you didn't vote, like at all, I don't like you, fam.
Yeah.
If you're a Trump voter, I don't like you.
Yeah.
If you're a conservative at all, I don't like you. If you didn't vote and you're a conservative, I don't like you. If you're an independent and you didn't vote, I don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck
what you identify as politically.
Or even who you fucking vote for other than Trump. You're an idiot if you do.
Yeah.
But that's the one. That's the only one.
That's the exception to the rule, yeah.
I cannot like your politician and you vote for them or whatever. But this is just... Not every election that I've had since I was able to vote did not feel like a free and fair election.
Yes.
It just doesn't feel like it. And I know I'm going off of vibes, and that's because I'm a lay person.
Yeah. I will say too, like, I saw the fucking like how to steal an election video from Climate Town talking about the 2000 election, and holy fuck, that was
well, and everyone was deeply upset, and now everyone's just upset about losing healthcare because that's the more pressing issue.
Yeah.
The most disturbing part of all this was is how much we've dehumanized each other.
Yes.
But the second most disturbing part is how much everyone immediately was like, oh my God, I have to change up my life.
Yeah. Yes.
Because they just accepted that we're probably not going to be able to actually vote again. Like you might.
That's a pretend. Like
you might go to the ballot and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want Schmiggeldorf instead of Donald Trump in 2032 or whatever.
Yeah.
And you put it in, it's like, oh, actually, the Schmiggeldorf, a Trump-appointed Supreme Court guy said that he's not able to run.
Yeah.
So all Schmiggeldorf votes went to Trump.
Yeah, right. Like some crazy bullshit.
Yeah, or they were just thrown out. So.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like, fuck, what am I thinking?
They actually made it legal for state delegates to vote against.
They vote for the opposite
interests of the people that voted. So
yeah, and I think that's another thing too, is that the system that we have for voting is so flawed and also like so suppressed as well.
Yeah,
like it was like I forgot that like we are registered to vote, and we've been registered to vote since like I was in high school. Like I wasn't able to vote in 2016, but in 2017, before I turned 18, I pre-qualified to vote. Like, but
I didn't know you could do that.
Well, not pre-qualified to vote, but I set up all the information so I can get a voter ID the day I turned 18, basically.
Okay, wow.
So that's what happened. But in order to have voted in Florida, for example, I think you needed to be registered like a month or two before.
Yeah.
And like to get a mail-in ballot, like you had, like it got, I should have been not had to go in and be like, yes, please give me a mail-in ballot. I did this for the past 2 elections. You should know by now.
That I should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's...
It's important also, the reason you might be like, mail-in ballot, who cares about mail-in ballots? I don't understand that. And I'm not complaining, this is just a counterpoint argument, okay? Let's all learn
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, in 2016, I went in to the booth and I voted,
Yeah.
like on the day. Like my mom picked me up. I went there before school, walked in.
I think you
took
did
like
it in
2
2020
hours.
too, because I remember dropping you off to let you vote.
I think it was probably a primary.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, because I had to. Yeah, it was that empty ass church because it was COVID.
Yes. Yeah.
That was what it was. And I walked in to vote at I think also a church nearby. And I walked in, stayed. No, it was a dance studio downtown. And I walked in, and there were all these mirrors and like a hardwood flooring, and there's like a railing, and everyone was dressed up to vote.
Mm.
And I mean, like in fancy clothes, not in like for some reason, there's like a trend with political shirts now, and maybe that's been a trend for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think it's also now, I've heard in some areas you're not allowed to have a politically leaning shirt because it might influence people.
I've heard of that too. I'm not sure, but that I know.
I
if you're a poll worker, you definitely can't. But,
yeah, but it, like either they won't let you vote or something if you wear a politically.
If that's the case, that's crazy.
Because I know I've seen shirts being drop shipped to me on TikTok and stolen from the actual artist that are about like the different it's a cool shirt. Go support the actual artist, but it's a shirt that's like a bunch of different herbs that for like at home abortions.
Oh yeah.
And so they had to make it explicitly like not like this is about abortion,
but you had to subvert it, yeah, like
for you to be able to wear it to the ballot, or also to not cause, I guess, fights in public and with your family at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, so I went in and I stood there in the ballot and I was reading through the amendments, and I was actually reading it, and it took me a long time to vote, and a lot of the amendments were written in a confusing way, and I voted ultimately against my own best interest with the Florida homestead tax credit.
Yeah.
In 2016. And I also voted for a bunch of people I didn't know who they were because I was not as politically
active
because I was 18.
Yeah.
And that's not really an excuse. There are a lot of wonderful 18-year-olds that are active and care about politics, and they're amazing. But I am continuously frustrated that they make this so inaccessible.
No, yeah, and that's on purpose, obviously, like especially here in Florida.
But I also left, the guy taking my ballot was like, dang, you took a long time. And my mom was like, you really read all that stuff?
That's
And
so
I also
sad.
was like, who did you vote for that one? She was like, I don't know, just vote for whoever's names I like the most. And you might be like, wow, Sarah's mom is dumb, ha ha ha.
No,
because we don't
this is a
Sarah's
really
mom.
sad thing.
That's a thing that I think a lot of people do.
Like, if the guy doing the polls was surprised.
Getting a mail-in ballot and reading it and looking up, who's this? Who funds this person?
Yeah.
Does APAC fund this person? What do they believe in? What are their policies? What are the things that they're going to do? What is the water guy, the guy doing the fucking water in Orlando
sewage,
going to do, and sewage going to do? Because, I voted for one, and then we had a fucking Nestle bought a goddamn water pumping factory. Ruined our fucking water. I don't think it's because of me, but I do think a lot of people just kind of vote willy-nilly.
No, yeah.
Or a down ballot when maybe there's a Democrat that has a more conservative-leaning ideology that you don't agree with.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want him to win, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's a better candidate. If there's not, then I don't know. You do what you want.
No, yeah.
I just find it so wild that having this opinion is, I feel, the most reasonable opinion.
But it's not the common opinion.
No. Or it's also like looked at as if it's a problem opinion.
Yeah, like, why did you do that? Yeah. That's and I think that goes back to the incuriousness that our culture has.
Anti-intellectualism is a buzzword, and people don't like buzzwords. They don't like hearing words too much because they don't like, they think it waters it down, when really they just won't pick up a fucking dictionary and look at what it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just sad. I think I don't know, because I don't know how much more I want to say other than, because I feel like I got all the things that I really wanted to say out.
The last thing I'll say.
Yeah.
even with us, even with people that you agree with, even with like Hassan, even with a conservative, if you watch a Tim Pool and you like Tim Pool, even with Sam Cedar, you know, you watch these guys and you watch us, and we're not them. We don't do politics really, but we do have an interest in it in our personal lives.
Yeah, like there's a reason why we haven't done the worst takes in fucking forever. It's because we've realized
I can't physically handle it.
Yeah.
You watch these guys, look up what they say.
Yeah.
Look up the article that they're talking about, read it fully.
Yeah.
Because maybe they didn't read the full article. Or maybe they have a different interpretation than you.
Or maybe they cherry picked specific quotes.
And yeah, maybe they did read the whole thing, and maybe if you read the whole thing, you'll have a different interpretation.
Yeah.
And then if that happens, try to think why they might have that interpretation.
Yeah.
And be curious about why other people have the opinions that they have.
Yeah.
But also, hold fast to your morals. And be kind. No one is being kind.
Yeah.
Right now. They are sometimes, they are to their children, maybe, or their dog, or their cat, but then they get online, or they get on a call to a service worker, or they go through the drive-thru at Taco Bell, and they be a little bitch to people.
Anecdote real quick. I went to Universal over the weekend because they were doing like a garage sale thing, and I didn't do it because fucking
there was a lot of people
busy.
there, and we're worried about bird flu.
Yeah,
also.
And all the rides were closed, so I was just like, all right, I'm going to walk around and just like enjoy the views for a little bit and then leave. To not waste driving, I guess, was in my mind.
Yeah.
But I went to Universal, and as I was leaving the park, there was a guy in front of me, and I don't remember who he was talking to. He was talking to someone else, and loudly enough to where I could hear it, and I don't think he was really trying to hush himself, but it was like a lesser volume. It doesn't matter. I was able to hear him like talk about someone and call them a fucking arsler. Like that was a quote that I heard. And it's not like unusual for me to hear people like curse, but
especially around here, I've heard a lot of people say the arsler.
But I feel like
it's become very normalized.
Yeah, I think it's become normalized, and I think it's gonna get even more normalized. Like I think it's gonna be hell. I think. Yeah,
it is going. It's gonna get worse.
Yeah, before it even gets better.
It's gonna be really hard to be kind, which makes it way more important to be kind.
Yeah.
Because you need to treat these people that are saying, you know, we're probably even going to get one in the comments that are going to be like, hey, that's not a slur. The R slur isn't a slur.
Yeah.
Skull face emoji. And you guys are soy boys or whatever. It's literally a comment I think we've gotten before.
For sure. Yeah.
To
that I want to say, if you look in the mirror and you decide to call yourself a good person, know that you're lying to yourself.
That's what you want to do, right? That's what I want to do to those people.
Yeah.
But if you go to them and you say like, "Hey, listen, you're gonna have more friends if you're nice to people."
Yeah.
Just cut them to the quick. Just cut them straight to the quick.
Yeah.
And just be like, "Hey, listen, there's gonna be more people at your funeral if you're nice."
Yeah. That is true.
Catch more flies with honey than vinegar. If you really want to you just have to be nice. And I don't mean be nice to them. No. Fuck them. They suck. I mean, tell them to be nice.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Yeah. The thing with kindness is that it's like respect. It's fucking earned.
Oh, that was a metaphor.
Yeah, what just fell?
I voted sticker.
Whoops.
Whoa, that was crazy.
Jesus, man. This show's really smart, actually.
That was not planned. The show is mostly scripted, but that was not planned.
Say it was planned. Don't fucking...
I just said it was scripted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Got it.
But that wasn't planned. That was just, everything else is scripted.
Sorry, what were we saying?
I don't know. You go ahead.
No, I think, we were talking about like, and that's the thing too, is that like, we're saying obviously be kind. That's a very simplistic thing to say, but there is going to be times and places where you're going to have to push back, be kind of respect is earned and you have to earn respect as well. I want to say that. I think it's still a good policy to start with kindness and then see how a person is.
I think it's like, people really think it's one or the other.
No. These are emotional tools.
Kindness isn't being passive aggressively kind. Kindness is loving people in your heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people saying, oh, you know what? The R slur isn't a slur. I say it all the time. They're not being kind.
Yeah.
You being like, hey, maybe you should be more kind is not being kind.
Yeah.
Even you being like, man, fuck you. isn't not being kind. You're being kind to a not kind person by socially checking them.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like,
no, it's like
you walk into an elevator and you turn around and you face everybody in the elevator.
Yeah.
You make everybody uncomfortable. You walk into an elevator full of Nazis and you make everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I get what you mean.
That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not walking in there and stabbing them.
Not, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, it's kind to protect others. You know what I mean? And like stick up for other people that aren't you. And
it's smart to be kind. People are going to say that being kind is dumb.
Or like you're naive or like...
You're not gonna... it's a weak-willed person is kind rather than someone who's, the grind set. I gotta put my nose to the grind and business. It's all business and I live my life by stoicism and... No. You get some cotton candy, sit in your house, drink a hot chocolate, play the guitar, have a nice time.
Yeah.
And help people when you can, when you're able to.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Yes. I don't personally understand right now anything wrong with that statement, but I'm sure I'll find out.
Cut to an hour from now. Yeah, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's the funniest part about this is we're going to immediately be like, fuck you. Like,
listen.
Well, that's what I mean. I think that shit is kind. Calling someone is kind. When someone calls me in and it's a genuine criticism and not just like you're lazy. A very thinly veiled jab or attack at me because I don't know.
It's kind. Yeah,
your boss yelled at you today.
It is a kind of kindness. Yeah,
that is kind, and I respect it a lot, and I value it a lot.
Yeah,
I really do. But the people will mischaracterize you, and you're gonna get upset because it's normal to get upset when people mischaracterize you.
Yes,
and I'm not even talking about me selfishly. I'm literally talking about that. Just is what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you guys don't want conservative values in your comments. You're going to make a leftist echo chamber. Sure. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's a leftist echo chamber, so why the fuck are you here? Sure, man. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. We got other shit to do. The leftists don't even agree with each other. It can't be an echo chamber.
Yeah.
There's none of us all agree with the same thing.
Leftist echo chambers are those rooms that have the sound panels on every side and you have to walk on a grate and then you can only hear your heartbeat.
Leftist echo chambers are a bunch of people with guns pointing it at each other.
Yeah, it's that scene in
and then a conservative walking in and be like, haha, you guys are mad at me.
Yeah, and then
like, we don't even like. What are you talking about? Get out of here!
It's the poster to Reservoir Dogs, where it's just the guy laying down and the other guy standing over. Yeah, and I have been both.
Yeah, dude, but the meme is just like leftist, also leftist. Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, just check. I checked in on everybody I knew. I talked with literally everybody about how they're feeling.
Yeah.
Like people that have trans loved ones in their lives and women that are trying to figure out their birth control shit.
Yeah.
People that are worried about they have partners that are immigrants and are children of immigrants. Now they're not sure what's going on with that.
Yeah, and there's already the talk of like, I'm going to use emergency power to call it an emergency, which is so fucking...
Because we do live in Florida. We have a large amount of wonderful people that come from the Caribbean that have been slandered also in the past couple of months. Haiti and Puerto Rico, which I find... absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's...
disgusting. I've talked with many of those people trying to figure out where they're coming from in their lives, and it led me to realize I've been neglecting how do I feel.
I think and that's it feels selfish when you try to take care of yourself, but you have to take care of yourself first before you can even comprehend the idea of helping others. It's you've got to put your mask on first before you give the kid the mask on the plane. You know,
well, people have been criticizing that statement because they're implying that the people saying that, and I'm sure some of them are, like it's a nuanced issue again.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We're using the same phrase to mean multiple things.
Yeah.
And people are falsely ascribing behavior,
their own, what they've
certain terms,
description in their head. Yeah,
you mean to the person that hasn't been taking care of themselves for months, hasn't showered, hasn't gotten a fucking haircut, hasn't doesn't eat regularly, doesn't sleep regularly, who only cares about all the people around them and only worries and needs medication, Sarah O'Hearn, and needs medication to like function. They're talking about people that are like, I gotta go to Starbucks.
Yeah, those. No, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people.
Fucking course not.
Who obviously have been fucked over so much that they feel disillusioned.
Yeah.
And no, it's not your fault. I think you do need to take time to take care of yourself, and then once you are able to, don't keep saying that I need to keep working myself when you can go to Starbucks or go to McDonald's and like.
And it's wild because I've really rooted it all back to ableism in my mind. I can really go on Twitter right now and find literally any tweet and be like, I think this is rooted in ableism. Yeah. Which is also like, I need to go outside.
Yeah, and that's also like, I gotta go.
We need to go outside.
We're going to blue skies.
Well, I don't know. Twitter is interesting to me because it puts me in a bad mental health space. Yeah. It's also the only place that I see people that I really agree with. So I was on Blue Sky for so long, and the entirety of the campaign, like Joe Biden's campaign, they were just criticizing people, calling him old. All right, and they completely flipped around after his first debate, where he was like, "Hey, Jack, ice cream." Yeah. They completely were like, "All right, we're fucked." Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to spend time there. What are we talking about?
I can understand.
There's so much time that was wasted. I'm gonna go insane if I have to listen to people like that. I can't, man.
That's fair.
I gotta only follow the lady that just posts a hot, sexy, medieval fantasy art. Have you seen her?
No, I haven't.
Hell
you
yeah, bro.
Pervert.
She's great. Her husband's out there too, and he adores the amount of attention. She doesn't make the art. She just like finds it and catalogs it. Nice. And she gives the like.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's all I have to say about that. I think for right now, and then as we get closer to it, I'm gonna be thinking about it more.
There's gonna be a new thing every day.
Yep.
With Trump and RFK Jr. and Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and everyone. Matt Gaetz, Marco Rubio.
Even it gets past it, because I feel like Matt Gaetz might be the only person that doesn't get in.
Really? I thought he did already.
I think I don't know if they actually nominated him yet, because I think
Trump is like, pedophilia is too far, even though my best friend is Jeffrey Epstein.
I think no, like blatant pedophilia, the way that Matt Gaetz did it.
Oh, you gotta hide it.
Yeah,
Matt.
You gotta hide it more. I think that's
Matt, you're too loose. Yeah, your tongue's too loose, baby.
Yeah, but with all the people in the cabinet, they're all gonna be doing one bad thing for sure every day.
At least. That's maybe 5, I think. Yeah. Minimum.
Yeah. So what is that? There's like 1,200, 1,300 days in 4 years?
It's going to be literally impossible to keep up with it.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't just turn your brain off.
Completely. Yeah. Take the time when you need it, and then be ready to fight when it's time to fight. Yeah.
Don't lose track of your morals. Don't obey in advance.
Yeah.
That's also my advice.
I agree.
Do not.
Did we just solve politics?
No. Because you know what? Everyone's going to be like, but what about this? I'll be like, I said it in there. I got to get into like an organization that teaches adults like
literacy
reading
and media literacy. Yeah.
Because I do genuinely care about it. I don't want to just joke and say, people are stupid. No, I don't think that helps. We need to genuinely be teaching people the joy of reading. Yeah. I didn't read before this year.
Yeah, true.
And now we're reading and I can't stop reading.
Yeah. Yeah, now in the book we're reading, The Smoke from the Book Club's really good.
So good. It's Severance by Ling Ma.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, speaking of media, Joshua, you watched Ikiru. Ironically, it is very serious and important.
Well, yeah, it's perfectly timed, thankfully.
Yeah, I think so.
It's called Ikiru, which means to live. It is a 1952 film. I should know the guy's name.
That's okay.
Because
I've watched it, it changed my life. I still don't know the guy's name.
Well, the thing is, like, as for a person that has been saying that, like, I'm a film nerd, this is like one of the most popular, like, most famous, like.
Yeah, but like, who here in the audience is really gonna like demand that you know names?
Don't give them that information.
Okay, I said in the audience though.
Oh yeah.
It's very easy to excommunicate yourself from this audience, and it's be a little bitch about stuff. That's mostly it.
Yeah, Kurosawa's the director.
Yeah,
which is he's one of the most influential filmmakers, like from the 50s, 60s on, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and I think it is interesting that this was the film that you picked this week because it is weirdly about hope.
Yes.
But it's so realistic about it that it's like sad. It's like the most like
yeah.
And to give a basic plot synopsis, I honestly would recommend trying to watch it if you can.
Even after the synopsis, you should watch it
for sure. Yeah. So it's basically about a bureaucratic worker. He's like the head of public affairs in Japan, and he basically he has cancer and he's gonna die in like 6 months. And he has realized that he hasn't done anything within the bureaucracy.
In his life.
And all he wants to do is try and like figure out what his life's purpose is.
Yeah.
And eventually his purpose, like he goes, like he thinks like, oh, it's going to be, fucking like, I just got to fuck bitches and get money. And then
I just got to fucking suck, baby.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, I hated this. I puked outside of a cab and this sucks.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh, I'm just going to attach myself to this, my former coworker that was under me, this female, and I'm just going to like follow her around and then she's going to get mad at me.
Yeah.
And then she's going to be like, I don't know. I just like my job. And then that's the light bulb moment where he runs out and is like, all right, I'm going to actually do something for the community.
So I do think it is a little. I know you're joking, but I'm like it's either like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna give my life to debauchery and senselessness, or I'm gonna give my life to stoicism and being a better man, and give my life to the youth. You know what I mean? Which is also wrong. Yeah. And it is also it's a commentary on at the time, and I don't know currently now, but at the time it was about the Japanese family structure.
Yeah.
Which was like, working your ass off for younger people and demanding them to respect you.
Yeah. But
while also giving into a system that doesn't really care for either of you.
Or respect you, yeah. Like,
it cares about capital, really.
Yeah, and that's and I think it's very important that it's like a government job, technically. Like, 'cause it's still like it's a widespread problem. Because okay, I don't know if I want to say the whole plot. I think I want to talk more about the themes more than anything else and bring up scenes.
I mean, that's essentially the plot. Like after that, he then realizes, like, okay,
I only have this much time.
What can I do to make the world better for the people after me?
Yeah, and he basically, like, there's the whole point, like, at the beginning of the film, we get, like, a bunch of moms that are, like, upset about, like, a pond that has a lot of sewage in it, and no one will clean it up.
Yeah.
And there's a fucking amazing montage where it's just them going to every different department.
Like, constantly moving papers and shit.
Well, not even that, no. It's like they literally go to multiple different places, and then every place is like, oh, no, that seems like an engineering problem. Oh, it's about water? That's a waterworks problem.
Yeah.
Oh, but because firemen use water, we gotta go talk to the firemen.
Yeah, it's like, what? Okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, this seems like a mayor problem. And then the mayor's like, oh yeah, how about you go to public affairs? Which is right back where they started. Yeah. Which is, it's really, it is funny, but it is also like,
it's a system and it's a process that I've thought about a lot in my life, especially coming from a customer service background, because like, you call customer service, the reason that someone gets escalated in a customer service call is because they called someone. Maybe they're already frustrated by the issue, so they don't want to listen to the robot, because no one wants to listen to a fucking robot.
Yeah.
They click the wrong button. They get forwarded to someone whose job isn't to fix the problem that they have.
Yeah.
They transfer them to somebody.
Yeah.
That person is like, okay, hold on, let me get my manager. Manager says, oh, that's actually not our problem. You have to go to somewhere else. And then they get transferred to somebody else, and that person doesn't want to do their job because they've been treated badly.
Yeah.
And they say, actually, they make up a lie. And they say, I know this because this was me. All these people are me at some point. They make up a lie and they say, actually, this is another issue. I'll transfer you. And then they're like, okay. You're like,
yeah,
okay.
and you get more and more frustrated as it occurs. Yeah.
And then you get transferred back to the first person. And you're like, ah! And you get frustrated. And then by the time, whoever you are as a worker in that process, you have to understand that this is the process that's happening. You can't transfer them to somebody else. You have to figure out how to fix their problem. And you have to have the energy to do it.
Yeah.
But also the person doing it, like sometimes you can get into a mindset as a customer service person of why can't you just listen to the robot?
Yeah.
And then you call Tires Plus because your tire is flat. And you don't listen to the robot. And you go to the next person. And you go to the next person. And you go to the next person until you get back to the first person. And you're like, that's why. Because they have 3 kids. And they need to eat. But they have to call to get their tire thing done because Tires Plus closes in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's why they clicked the wrong thing. And it's a dehumanizing process that lacks empathy on all sides.
Yes, yeah, and it's very and the whole point, like, there's 3 main themes of the film, and I'm going mostly off of like it's super obvious, but like it's about the bureaucracy. It's about obviously living and death, and and the meaning of life, and also it's about the family structure that was there in Japan because I think also to delve more into that, it's more about like the responsibility between the elderly and the youth, because that's a big parent and son, even
son,
or father son, I guess, in this movie, parent child, I don't know why,
generation to generation,
there you go,
legacy.
Only sons get love is what I'm saying here.
Okay.
No fucking so, and with that too, like, it's very this film's so good. Okay,
I
sorry.
know, it's really good. You can talk about the themes. I think the plot is essentially that. If you want to know more about the plot, you can go.
But I think I want to talk about a lot of the plot, because like the way we know he has cancer, we know he has cancer before he has cancer. Before he knows, I guess.
It shows you, right?
It shows it, and there's like a narrator throughout. Like I think once or twice.
Cancer.
This is our protagonist, but like, and there's like such a good line that's like, well, he's already basically dead. Like, he's been dead for the last 20, 30 years.
Right.
And it's about like the especially like this is pre like computer, so it's not the spreadsheet mill, but it's definitely the
like papers,
the file mill. Yeah. And it's so funny because it's funny in a sarcastic way where it's like the papers are just like piled upon piled upon piled, and it's like, oh shit, they are there.
Well, I mean, and that's important too, because it means the work is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard work. There's reasons for them to be exasperated. It's not like they're chilling on the beach answering calls and being like, I don't want to work.
No, and they're still technically doing a little bit of work here and there, but it's just like no one's really like enthused about it, and they're all just kind of like, oh, it's just what we do.
Yeah. I guess the point is like, it's important because the attitude of this movie isn't like no one wants to work these days. The attitude of this movie, would you imagine?
That would be so funny if that was your takeaway.
Funny. Man, no one wants to work these days. But I feel like you easily could if you are not at a comprehension level.
Yeah, no, because it's not even like it's.
Which is why I want to explain it.
No, yeah, and I think the thing that also pisses me off personally about the people don't want to work these days is that that's been a thing that's been said since like the 20s, and it's never been true. Yeah, it's just been a way to like make it seem like if you want a raise and you don't get it and you're like, I quit.
Well, it's the process. It's the first process. It's calling the robot and then doing the wrong thing and then getting mad at everybody else when you caused your own problem. But also, there's a reason that you caused your own problem. You're overwhelmed. You need help. And so is everyone. If everyone in the situation needs help, how can we help each other?
Yeah. And I think
that's the entire point.
Yeah, and I think and like this movie, like, I will say it's definitely interesting because like it's what makes this movie for me personally is like the last 40-50 minutes.
Yeah.
And I guess to give a quick rundown, because it really isn't like a lot happens, but there's like a lot of little scenes here and there that I did write down really enjoying.
It can be really boring for the first half.
Kind of, but up until the point where like, I guess, it's a little bit boring.
It drags, but it's because it's from the 50s.
And also, it's not even that it drags, it's just that like we're really setting up for
Stuff,
yeah, and it's like
it's like you would say that about every Turner Classic movie
yeah.
right now.
Yeah, and I think it also like there's a lot of suspense with it too, because like so okay, he goes like to the hospital like within like 15-20 minutes, and he because he's coughing a bunch, I think it's like or something or not coughing, he's
cough blood or something.
No, it's because he has a stomach ulcer is what it is,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
it's like stomach cancer, so he's like puking a bunch, he's not able to eat, and like there's another patient there that's like, oh yeah, so like this is like stomach cancer is what you have. Like they're first gonna like if you have these symptoms, what the doctor is gonna say it's just a mild ulcer. We're not gonna do anything.
But you actually have
mild.
stomach cancer.
But you actually have it because they're trying to be polite about it. Like they're trying to like
they don't want to like essentially give him hope that he can live.
Yeah,
because we're not even gonna pretend that you possibly could get better.
But this is them lying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I mean. It's like they're saying it's more fucked up for me to tell you that if we do chemo, maybe you'll get better because the level of cancer that you have in your stomach is so much that you will die. So I'm going to let you live in ignorance.
Yeah, okay, I get what you mean.
By lying to you.
Yeah, and that's what happens is the doctor to his face lies, and that's how he knows like okay.
Yeah, he intuitively takes it as a confirmation that he has cancer. Yeah,
and then it's interesting too because afterwards it's like he should be ignorant, like I don't want to be rude to him and tell him he has cancer, and like it's rude to tell someone that they're gonna die in 6 months, 6 to 12 months.
It's cruel.
Yeah, and it is cruel, and like there's only one person there that's like not the main doctor that is like visibly disturbed by that thought. Like
and it's sort of seeing that as like we should attack the problem head on, but it furthers the theme of don't look at it.
Yeah, if you don't look at it, it's actually fine. And that's also because that kind of goes in with the bureaucracy of it all too. Yeah. Or at least the bureaucracy of how it is here, because I don't want to come away with this movie being like government bad. Like
no, I think that's not even what the movie is even really saying. It's more of just like it's hard to do things on purpose because they don't want you to do things.
Yes, no,
the government is bad in that way, but it's not like do away with it. We should all go live in an anarchist commune.
We should actually all become libertarians.
No,
and
in fact, the movie kind of investigates that kind of aspect with the we're gonna do a bunch of drugs and have sex and blah blah blah.
Go to all these nightclubs and fucking
whatever.
Yeah,
which is like no, and then afterwards he's like, but I don't feel fulfilled.
Yeah, basically, and he just kind of like tips his hat and like it goes away, and we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah,
but so like the visibly disturbed guy, is obviously questioning why, and that's what happens. Yeah, and immediately like depression, like, and he knows, and he's like just walking around, and like there's one point where he's at home, and then like we look up and see the distinguished service for 30 years, like that's how long he's been working. And it's just the weight of the idea of like that's what these 30 years were leading up to, like this kind of.
This movie is so fucking good. You're describing it to me, because it's like these things are so quick and they mean so much. Yeah, it's so succinct in its messaging, because like it's No Country for Old Men did the same thing with the like, oh my god, in the book where the sheriff, what's his name? Bell. Sheriff Bell reveals near the end of the book, spoiler alert for No Country for Old Men if you want to read it, it's old as fuck, so I don't feel bad. But near the end of the book, Sheriff Bell reveals that when he was in World War II, he deserted his entire platoon. Yeah. And they all died. And instead of him being dishonorably discharged, they gave him a Medal of Honor. Yeah. Because the government wanted to cover it up, because they didn't want a scandal like that looking bad on. They wanted to, they want to give the idea that you can be a proud war hero and get through things and be happy and have a great time and not acknowledge your trauma. And Bell realized that was the reason, that was the first time him, a man born in Texas, believing in a conservative ideology, coming home and being forsaken by the country that he put his entire life into protecting, realized it doesn't give a damn about him and his trauma and what they make him do for the country. And I find that's like, it took No Country for Old Men the entire book to get there.
Yeah, but
Which,
that's
and it was wonderful.
No,
and it's
that's
a
the thing,
different
yeah.
thing, and it's very specific to America.
yeah,
But Ikiru does it by just looking up at a thing.
yeah,
And it
it's
comes
like-
back down.
it's
Like, that's amazing just from a film technical standpoint.
yeah, and like
A story technical.
Yeah, and they really don't take long to
Standpoint.
also say that like the relationship is strained in the family because like the son and his wife come home because they all live in the same house and they're just
Yeah.
talking about like when's he gonna fucking retire so I can like get his pension and like because we can't keep doing this and like they turn on the light and he's just like sitting there because he knows like sad and depressed because he has the
Yeah.
but like he overheard basically the whole thing and
Yeah.
then I think they're both like I think they both blame each other eventually when they're in private like I can't believe you fucking said it and it's like you brought it up like they're having their own I think that happens I don't remember I know
Okay.
someone
I
I know one person got like
They had like a fight.
a little like argumentative at least
Well,
about it
It's I find that also interesting too. And I'm not going to do this for every single bit. I'm so sorry. Maybe I have to do like a 70-part video essay or something about this
20
movie.
hour long, do it, let's
Holy
go.
Shit. And it's past monetization.
yeah
It can't be monetized too long.
yeah too long
But no, I find that also really interesting because it's like it symbolizes the movie's not about him.
yeah
It's like we don't really care about this guy. We're not going to learn about his, and we're not going to spend really an intimate amount of details in his life, in his relationships.
yeah
It's about what this guy represents.
and everything around him and
Yeah.
like yeah and I mean that's also like why the last 40 minutes are because for the last 40 minutes he's not there which we'll get to
Right.
why
Yes. Yeah.
I mean he has cancer so you guys can figure it out
figure it. Put two and two together.
yeah but
Yeah.
so like and like that's part of like the straining of it and throughout the movie too there's like maybe one or two like he doesn't tell his son that he has cancer
Right.
but there's one moment where he tries to
Yeah.
and the son is like only caring about the house and only caring about the money and cutting him off just to talk about that
Right.
so he doesn't get a chance to talk about it basically
Yeah.
and the payoff for that the setup and the punchline later is at his funeral the son's like no he would have told me if he had cancer he didn't know he had cancer like and it's
Yeah.
like oh well
It's not really that the son is a bad
no
person.
yeah
It's that he's also caught up in the rat race
exactly yeah
about with money. He needs to worry about money as a young man.
yes
Because I mean I'm a young woman and I worry about money every day.
yeah
If my parent had cancer and was trying to tell me, I'd also want to know, but it would break me.
yeah no I get that
It's once again the same thing. We're all hurting, you know?
yeah
And I think that's the main point of it.
Yeah. And I think the okay, yeah, okay, hold on. Okay. So yeah,
Go ahead.
so yeah, and like that's like kind of a thing that goes on throughout the movie. And like there's like about 10 minutes where he's like just depressed and kind of walking around. At one point he leaves and like he stops going to work. He doesn't go to work anymore.
Mhm.
And it's funny too. Later on, one of the person that he's gonna follow around a bunch wants to resign, and the only way she can resign is if she gets the stamp of approval. Like she can't just fucking leave.
Right.
Yeah, which is another like funny, like not funny, but like detail of like, oh, even if you want to quit,
You can't.
you got to go through this. Yeah,
Some
huge.
stupid bureaucracy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So with that, like, there's like 10 minutes where he's just really depressed, and he eventually finds like himself in like a little, I think it's like a little restaurant is the best way to describe it. Like, and there's a writer in there, and he's writing, and he asks, I think, the proprietor, like, hey, can you go run this out to my editor, and like, can you also stop by a store? Like,
Mhm.
I said assistant when I wrote down the notes. I don't think it's assistant. I don't know how to describe it, but
Yeah.
he asks the guy to go get some stuff for him, and he leaves, and then he wants sleeping pills, but he's not able to get it because all the stores are closed.
Yeah.
And so he comes in, the main character, the protagonist, comes in and is like, oh yeah, you can have mine. Like, and like the writer's like, oh, can I pay you for these? And he's just like, no,
Right.
it doesn't matter. And like,
This is unlocking a memory of when I watched this. I think we were learning about Sart and becoming the waiter, the concept of becoming the waiter, which you talked about on the gaming channel, actually.
oh yeah, we did.
Which is essentially like when you start a job. And this is how my interpretation of it. I know there's a lot of people that think it's a classist dunking on the waiter. The character of the waiter. Like Sart was dunking on him as being like a low-class motherfucker.
That's not your interpretation.
And dumb. I don't have that interpretation at all. I am not a philosophy student, though. I've just read a lot because I find it existentialism very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm depressed.
But yeah.
But yeah, so becoming the waiter, from what I understand, is the concept of when you start a waiting job, you don't really know. You can know all the actual literal things to do.
Yes.
But you haven't physically done the things yet. So you are acting like a waiter. It is an act. You are pretending to care because you have just stepped into this world.
This role.
This role. And a tiny world where you go to work and you put on your apron, whatever. The first time you do it, you tie it wrong. You know, you walk up to the thing. This is me editorializing, but you tie your apron wrong, and then you walk up to him and you give him the coffee cup and you put too much milk in or whatever. And he's like, I didn't ask for milk. But that's, I think, people's interpretation of Sartre is that he's calling them an idiot, and he's just saying that's what I would do if I was a waiter.
Yeah,
is I would fuck up.
Yeah,
a lot.
But slowly,
with practice, you become a waiter. And I think there's some credence to calling it classist because it's like you're a waiter as soon as you get the job.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I think is but I think it's like you're not really thinking about what he's actually talking about. This is semantics. You're having a semantics argument, which I think is weird to have with a dead guy. Like what the point is? I'm actually like,
that is great.
This is why here's why I'm not a philosophy major. When I don't really do this that often is I don't want to have these conversations.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the actual ideas, please. But no, yeah, it's eventually you become the guy. And I think we actually talked about that during this scene because it was like, yeah, it's the guy that like goes out and does the things that I don't know if he does it wrong or something, but I think it was just
they did not because that's the only time we see that guy too. I think
it's like maybe my professor, maybe rightly or wrongly, was implying that this is like a reference to Sartre, the guy, the cafe guy writing.
Maybe.
It could be. Because it is like the Sartre did write a lot about existentialists.
And like, listen, maybe I'm stupid, but I did not get that fucking vibe. Like, it just seemed like...
We also haven't read Sartre, though.
Yeah, well,
so
listen,
I'm going to be honest. Come on, Josh.
All right, listen. What? I know everything. Shut up.
And a lot of what Sartre wrote was about, because it was about like, I believe it was about war, because I think he was a Frenchman in France, and they were debating whether or not to get into a war. And whether or not to, it was like a question of, yes, we love France, people love France, but I do not want to die in war. And it is that caring about your own life more selfish than caring about your country and the ideologies that your country stands for? Was a lot of what I read from him.
Okay.
So I think maybe that was the allegiance to your country versus allegiance to yourself, which I think is also a struggle and a theme in this movie.
Yeah. But okay, yeah. So like the guy leaves at some point and we never see him again.
Yeah.
And the writer's basically like he slowly starts deducing that like he's dying and like has cancer. And I think he's the protagonist says it at some point that he has cancer.
Right.
And so like, and he's basically talking about like, you know, I didn't really do much with my life. And the writer's like, I'm going to take you out on the town.
Right.
Because I think
it's this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah. So the protagonist asks him basically to be like a guide, and the writer's like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Show me what life is about.
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah. And then we just get a lot of scenes where they're
fucking and suck it, baby. Hell yeah.
Yeah, like they're running,
smoking big fat doobies.
Basically, yeah, like they go to a bunch of different nightclubs.
Yeah.
Like, and this all happens in one night too, which is fucking.
It's hilarious. It's great.
Yeah, like they go to like 10 different places, and like they're running on the street, and I think prostitutes are just out on the street.
Yeah,
like,
they're just chilling.
Yeah, they're just and they're like also like berating him, like, oh please, like they're grabbing him basically, and like one of them steals his regular hat, and at some point they go buy a new hat for him.
Yeah,
having changed and. Literally. So
dude applying
the story circle to just this point of the movie.
To just this one, completely missing the entire point of the story circle, which I'm going to get so annoying about because I'm reading Man with 1,000 Faces right now, and I can't do it before bed because it lights my brain on fucking fire.
Yeah. Fuck, I got LaCroix in me.
Okay.
It's not even LaCroix, it's bubbly. Whatever, it's LaCroix.
Who cares?
Yeah,
it's the same.
So, okay, yeah. So, like, eventually gets a new hat, and, like, there's multiple times where like eventually at some point like he starts like he is like dancing a little bit with someone else, but like he's really not too into it.
Yeah.
And like there's a piano player at what that's doing while they're doing the dance, and like it's like I wrote it down, and I think it is important to say the name of the song with this because
yes, I do remember the song too.
Yes.
I'm glad you picked up on it too. A lot of the kids when I was in
I will say I did have Wikipedia open during this entire watching because I wanted to know like
what was
more
going
about
on.
the culture as well, because I think it is very important.
It is a lot. I think also watching it, our professor was like pausing it and like teaching us about it. So
yeah. So the name of it is Gondola.Uta. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but the Gondola song is what it's called.
Yeah.
And in the movie, it's sung twice. This is the first time it's sung.
Yeah.
And he asked for that to be played on the piano, and it's like a really slow like love ballad. And then eventually like everyone's like dancing, but he starts singing it, and everyone stops and they start watching him, and like we just get a real close up on his face. Because also the person that he was dancing with originally like immediately like sat on his lap, and then she got up during like while he was singing, basically like everyone kind of like, oh wow,
they were like, oh what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Yeah.
And then like he sings it and he's like just crying when he like sings it. Like he has like a tear or two come out, and then we go back to another nightclub. Like fuck that scene apparently, that for now at least.
Fuck. God, so good.
Yeah, and I think maybe after the scene is the one where they're in the cab and he has to get out to puke, and he's like, fuck this. Like, basically, like, he's just like, I can't do this. This isn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, well, it's like, it's, you know, it reminds me of All That Jazz.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I also saw All That Jazz in the same year of college, but it was a different class. So it was like, for some reason, everyone was really determined to make me have a mental breakdown, I guess. By thinking too deeply about life. Like, FSU really took me by the balls and was like, think about your life, which is crazy. And then everyone elected Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, why did I think so much about it if it's going to all go to shit? Oh my God. Anyway.
So like he realizes like, oh no, that's not that. Like at some point he literally just like, I think he says to his son when he gets back home or something, or he says to someone like, I think I overdid it last night, like something like that. And like, oh, and this is also the part. Okay. So after this, like he has a employee that like works under him. She wants to not be fired, but she wants to quit. And she like sees him on the street because he hasn't gone to work in like a week or two.
Everyone's like worried about him.
Yeah. And there's multiple times where it's like, he's never left for this long. He's been here. Like he's worked there. They make a point to say that he's never taken the day off, basically. Yeah. Or like if he has taken a day off, like it's very rare, you know?
Yeah.
He's devoted his life to the job.
Yeah. We gotta say one thing about the debauchery angle.
Yeah.
It feels like it's, to me, from what you're describing, and I need to rewatch it again, but it feels like it's a commentary on like the people that do find that their life's purpose is to just engage in the aesthetic and the sensory, like drinking and drugs and sex. That there is always going to be a reaction. Like death is inevitable. Which is like, yes, of course. We all know this. Yeah. And it feels sometimes cruel to say death is inevitable, and maybe that's the thing we're all avoiding, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's, death actually, that's the public affairs department. You know what I mean? But it's that, and it makes people uncomfortable. But it's like, that is the inevitable of people that think like that. Doesn't mean that it's wrong. No. But it is also intriguing to me that he's like, I can't do this. It's not necessarily that it's a bad way to live life. It's more like it's not his purpose.
Yeah, and I think it also kind of said like it's like not necessarily possible, because throughout the movie that he's also talking about like before he goes out there, he says like, yeah, the alcohol is like poison to me. Like I am not going to be able to keep this in. Like, but he still goes out and is still like,
he's still doing it to hurt himself.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But then by the end of it, he's like, I can't.
When does it become I'm just having fun, and when does it become I'm hurting myself?
Yeah. Which
is also a commentary on people that do engage in the sensory, but not necessarily like a judgmental commentary.
No, this movie's 100% straight edge is what it is.
Yeah, it's so straight. No, it's like...
I think that this movie has taught me that people don't want to work anymore. You gotta be straight edge.
You have to be straight. You have to do the grind set,
You gotta do the grind set,
You just have to work really... Dude, the guy that doesn't get Ikiru is so funny. Holy shit. But it's not judgmental. It's more like there's a reason that people are doing this, and it's because they all have their own stomach cancer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Perfectly said. Yeah.
Everyone does, and it's death.
Sometimes it's just right in your face, though. Sometimes it's not. Yeah.
Sometimes, if your time might be like 20 years, 40 years ahead, and you're going to spend this time denying it by dancing and partying, and that's your goddamn right. But sometimes you die in 6 months and it won't let you.
Yeah.
You have to face what you have to face.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't ignore it.
Yeah.
And it's just another form of the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so the employee comes around, like, eventually, like, he's walking out on the street, she knows him, asks to be resigned, and, like, he has to go back home and sign the paper.
Yeah.
And, like, she starts making notes of, like, Jesus Christ, 30 years. And I'm editorializing here, obviously, go watch the movie.
Yeah, of course.
I'm making it more shitty than it sounds, I think, by being like, this fucking piece of shit, like, yeah. But yeah, she's like, oh my goodness, like, you've been working for 30 years, like, you deserve a vacation. And I think I don't remember if he necessarily responds to it that well. There's a lot of, and I think the part of the reason why I don't want to explain every little detail with this movie specifically is, there are too many quotes that I wrote down. Genuinely, because there's like every line is so good. Every line is so good, basically, and it's like I'm never gonna do it justice if I'm the first time you hear like that line being said.
Yeah, you need
unless
to hear
it's like a line like I need to say it for the plot, I'll say it. But like for the most part, I'm just gonna give you the vibes for now.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit, I guess, a different. Josh kind of mansplains ?
Yeah, it's like Josh genuinely does a good movie review.
Yeah.
Would you do?
Yeah. And I'm still like giving you the plot synopsis, but
you usually go plot by plot, which is why I call it a mansplains.
Well, yeah, and like, listen, when I go back to fucking Now You See Me Too, I'm gonna explain every
that will be the big punchline to November.
Yeah.
You going back to a shitty movie after watching maybe the greatest movies ever.
Next week, fuck it.
No, next week you're watching Bartleby the Scrivener, bro.
What the fuck is that?
We've already seen clips of it. It's the one with what's his face?
Matt Damon?
No, it's not Matt Damon. Shut up about Matt. If I see a movie with Matt Damon in it right now, I'm going off the deep end.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, whoever's in it, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so whoever's in it, that's my some fucking guys in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So basically, he starts like getting attached to her basically because like they go out together at some point and, like they kind of start like having lunches and like because the reason why is because he's fascinated by her love of life.
Yeah.
Because the reason why she wants to quit is she wants to go to a different job basically, and it's like she works for a toy company.
Yeah.
And like they make like little like bunnies kind of. I think it's bunnies. It's some small animal. It's like a plushie. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the mentality is like it's a stupid job. Why the fuck does she do it? Maybe no?
Not
okay,
really.
sorry.
It's just that, like, because they never say, like, it's a bad job, like, directly. But the reason, because they say it's a good job, actually. But the way that it comes out,
That's what makes this movie not anti-capitalist or anti-government.
Yeah.
It's, like, not even really about any of that.
Yeah.
Even though you could, depending on your issues now, could extrapolate that from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like he slowly gets more and more attached, and like it's a little bit funny because like at one point, like while like they're like talking, like the maid at the house walks in on them, like just talking, and then the son starts thinking, oh my god, he's fucking prostitutes and he's not gonna give me money. That's crazy. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Which leads to that fight that they have later where they think that she's
is
just
prostitute or something.
Yeah, like something like that, or like he's spending all his money on just some lady.
Like he's trying to find out his purpose in life, and the aesthetic of it looks like he's throwing his life away.
Yeah, and he's mostly throwing away the money because, like, when they say it, it's like you're throwing our money to buy a house away.
Because they believe that money equals, money and working and being a hard, dedicated worker and not doing any of these things.
Yeah,
equals a good person.
Yeah,
and their dad is throwing it all away in his old age.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
And they're upset at him for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like he slowly gets more attached to her, and she starts getting creeped out because he's doing like basically romantic things that out of context, like you would think are romantic. Like every time, like when they go to a restaurant, like one of the restaurants, he like gives her like his dessert and like his meal and pays for everything.
Right. So it seems like she
And,
doesn't
like-
know he has cancer.
Yeah, and like at some point, like she has like a hole in her leggings, and like he's like, "Oh, where did you get those?" And then like
Yeah.
buys it for her, and like
He's taking care of her.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And at some point, it's like too much for her, and she like leaves, and
Yeah.
he goes to the factory that she's working at, and like just asks like one last time, "Can you like go out with me tonight?" So
Yeah.
and she at first is like no, and then like he walks away sadly, and she's like, "Okay, fine, I'll do this one last time, but never again."
Yeah.
And then like they kind of like she calls him out for being kind of creepy about it, and like
Yeah.
it seems very creepy. And there's some things that he does that's a little bit like too much. Like at some point after he reveals he has cancer, like he goes around the table and like it's right up in her face and is like, "What gives you like life? Like what is your?"
Yeah, he gets like really. It's sort of a. I don't know. Have you ever watched anime? Like it's a thing. Like it really is like a thing that is indicative to the culture. It's like a way that maybe a way to describe the emotion of fascination that's just like getting real up in there that I wonder is different from like it's like the explicit breaking of a social norm of how much space do I need between you and me. Like we know that as Americans, if we went to a different country, it would be different.
Yeah.
I would if I was here and I was in like fucking Spain. I don't know. It could be shorter in Spain. It could be longer in Spain. I'm just using Spain as a. If we went to gobbledygook country,
I don't know.
and we're sitting here, a gobbledygook citizen would be like, "Why the fuck are you all up on me, bro?"
Oh yeah.
But then
yeah.
if we went to a bobbledygook country, they would be like, "Why are you? Do you hate me? You're so far away." You know what I mean? Different
yeah, I
countries
get
have
you. Yeah, it's a
different
different culture. Yeah.
culture aspects.
Yeah, so yeah, and
Yeah.
it's he does that, and like basically she gives the response of like, and I'm gonna say this line because it is important. It's the thing that wakes him up to what he really wants to do.
Yeah.
It's like when she makes a toy, she is playing with every child in Japan.
That's what she says.
That's what she says, like almost verbatim.
Yeah.
And that's when he doesn't. I don't think he says much more after that. At some point, he like kind of has a realization, and we don't hear it yet, and he just like leaves. And like she just watches him leave and is like, I don't know, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also during that too, and I think this is an important detail, like behind them there's a birthday party going on.
Yeah.
And they like make a big, and at some point, because also when he walks down the stairs, it looks like they're cheering him on, but then like the actual guest that's supposed to go to the party comes up.
Which is the filmmaking is really good.
Yeah, like
This is very literal, but it's also very
yeah.
yeah.
And basically it starts his process of like, okay, I know those moms want the pool, not the pool, the pond, turned into something else and like fix it. And basically it's like he goes back to work and everyone's like, oh, there you are. What the fuck happened? Like, yeah. And he's like, okay, can someone give me a bicycle? We gotta go survey that land right now. Can you get parks on here? Can you get engineering over here?
He realizes his inactivity is because of everything else.
Yeah, and he's basically
doing.
Yeah, and he starts forcing basically like, okay, we're gonna go out, we're gonna start doing this. And then smash cut to his funeral or his wake.
He's dead.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, like not much. So like from here on out, it's gonna be like they're gonna talk about memories of him, and that's when he's gonna return.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, like I think it is like what is it? Yeah, no, I think pretty much it is like they just say like, oh, you're intruding on the other departments, and he's like, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna go out. Yeah, and like I think it's like he goes out the building, and then we see his wake basically.
Yeah,
and they're all. It's like and this is where the movie gets really fucking good because it's just like so depressing. It's so fucking.
That's why it's good. Is because it's depressing.
No, because it works so well. That's why. But it is really depressing.
Okay.
So like at the wake, it's like it's the son and wife and like basically a bunch of coworkers as well as a bunch of the heads of the departments that he worked with. We eventually learned that the playground did get built. Like it basically got built, and throughout the wake, there's the like the mothers show up and they like want to like light the incense basically, and like they like kneel at the photo of him at the wake, and like then they eventually and leave, and then okay, we haven't talked about the mayor character yet that much because he doesn't really show up. This is like the second time we've seen him for like if I'm not mistaken, and so fucked up, so fucked up. Basically, a bunch of reporters come up at some point, and like they say basically the word on the street is that Wannabe, which is his name, the protagonist's name,
Watanabe,
yeah, sorry. The protagonist basically was the one that built the park.
Yeah,
like it's like newspaper reporters, and like they're taking photos of him, and then they're like, and the mayor is like, guys, this is his funeral, don't do this. Like, meanwhile, like they're being like, well, remember when like you when you gave the speech at the opening of the park, you were kind of
you're taking credit for it.
You were kind of taking credit for it, and like electoralizing or something like that, like some sort of. I
think so. Yeah, like he was trying to win a.
Yeah, like he was focusing more of the election. Yeah,
yeah.
And like they eventually leave, and then there's like a little bit of a conversation between all the like. Basically, he starts off by saying like it wasn't his park. If anything, it was the Parks Department park. You know, and every like department kind of starts to take credit for like what it is.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I think the mayor is like, if anything, I'm the one that made it. And then like someone is like, you know, like one of the guys there's like, yeah, that's probably true. And I think there's a little bit of pushback, but at some point, like it's just
they let it
go, and they say that
this shit is so important.
Yeah, and then basically all the heads of all the different departments leave, and it's just his coworkers, son, and wife, and basically like they how do I describe this? They slowly start figuring out that because they're questioning why he did it. Why this happened. Like he's never done shit, you know, like this. And they slowly start realizing that he probably knew about the cancer, which the son denies because he was never told it. There was and again, it was during that fight that earlier where it was where the son thought that the protagonist was also I'm saying the protagonist because in the beginning of the movie, A, I don't want to fuck up names, I already did that. But B, the movie starts off by saying this is the protagonist's thing, so I kind of view it from that storytelling kind of angle.
Just like this is the guy. This is just like an insert kind of.
Basically, it doesn't really matter who it is.
Specific things happen to him, like it's not all abstract.
Yeah,
like we're playing with actual themes and like specific events. Yeah, not just shapes and themes.
Yeah,
not shapes and.
But this
colors.
is like an everyman, I guess, would be the best way to describe. Yeah. For lack of a better word.
Probably.
Yeah. When the son's like, oh, he would have told me, that it gets shut down immediately.
Yeah.
But then there's like one guy that's like, I'm going to call like the dissenter, I guess. That's what it is, like someone who dissents.
Yeah.
He is like, well, hold on. He had to have known, right? Like he's like
right. Like let's all be fucking real here. Oh yeah, this is at the
this is at the wake. Yeah,
the table, the reception where they're having dinner, right?
Yeah, it's not
is kind of that is interesting. It is interesting imagery because it is like
and earlier because of that, the mayor was using the idea of being respectful to the protagonist by being like, he would have wanted us to say that it was the city that actually did it, not him.
Right.
Meanwhile, everyone comes up is like, it was him. He fucking
what were his intentions?
Yeah, basically
of making this park because no one can comprehend
wanting to do what he did and like forcing everyone to build a park.
No one wants to do it
and break through this system. And then they slowly start bringing up like memories of like that, I think they start. I'm gonna actually pull up my notes for this part because I think these scenes are important because on Wikipedia it's just like, oh, they all talk about his memories.
Right.
And
they do kind of gloss over it. Is it like they kind of realize they don't know much about him?
Not really, from what I remember. It's more. It's because I guess no one knew about the cancer. That's the thing they really focus on. If we're gonna talk about like things I didn't remember, I guess, or like that we didn't know about him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they went to pachinko parlors during the debauchery.
Yeah, gambling.
And he also does that with the coworker that he follows. It like shows her that basically.
Right. Well, because pachinko is such an interesting, specifically pachinko is like it's an interesting cross section between gambling and like play.
Yeah. Like yeah, because really it's just like it's just a marble machine kind of like
yeah, kind of, but it is gambling. It can get people addicted to gambling.
Oh, for sure.
So it is like there's still a conversation about pachinko parlors and whether or not having gambling with bright, colorful colors on it is harmful to children, or if adults deserve just having fun sometimes.
Yeah,
and,
it's yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So, because I don't want to say every single line, because at this point every other line's like fucking gold.
Yeah.
But someone's like, oh, he was probably just crazy. Oh, he was probably just like
they're debating his intentions.
Yeah, basically. And like one of them was like, well, the city hall is like my turf, basically. Like they started getting into like a pissing match of like who should have actually been the one to start all this, I guess. Kind of like not start all this, but like
actually do something.
Yeah.
They don't know how to handle someone having an accomplishment, actually.
Yeah, like the main guy that's arguing on behalf of Wannabe, he's like, well, I remember
Watanabe.
Yeah, Watanabe, yeah. He basically he remembers seeing like he had an energy to him, basically, that was like, I'm gonna get shit done. And it's like at some point it's like him just like going to like picking up papers and bringing it out and like And I think they see a little bit of him like surveying the site still eventually, like during the when it's just like pouring rain, he's just walking around and like foot deep in mud, you know? And it's showing this dedication. At some point during the construction, he tumbles down and it gets picked up by the mothers that are watching this because and they give him like some sort of soup, and it's like he pushed through this cancer, basically, like when they realized that he knew about it,
a physical ailment
of some sort.
I think it's also like they realize, oh my god, he had cancer that whole time.
Yeah, and he was able to do this. We
should have been helping him.
Yeah,
like we in Japanese culture have a dedication to help others, and we weren't doing that.
Yeah,
and it's we should blame him because he didn't tell. It's an am I the asshole, bro? It's like, we should tell him, is he a dick for not telling us?
Yeah.
Or should we just know to help him? Do we only help cancer patients?
Or should we help
everybody?
Yeah.
But we can't help everybody.
Yeah.
But how do it's like putting a moral dilemma on trial at a dinner at a wake.
Yeah, like literally.
Past the conclusion. Which I think is amazing. I think that's so good.
Yeah, because then they're also like at some point like he has to walk up to like the mayor's office and like basically there's like a mafia like waiting there and they're like the subtitles I think said "Don't fuck with us." Like that's what the subtitle said. Because like they get in his face.
Real,
I don't think but that's what the subtitle said.
Fuck with us.
Like that's what the subtitle said, so I don't know what it actually was, but that's I guess the vibe. The movie, the subtitles are doing the work for me right now.
Yeah,
that's so funny that was a real one. I didn't even have to make that up.
That's so funny.
It's really funny, and like because one of the guys was walking with him and he saw this happen, and like he stayed away while this all went down. And like I think one of the guys threatens him like with his life, and like he just looks up and smiles because like he's gonna fucking die.
Yeah, so he doesn't care.
I think that might have been part of the proof that he knew he was dying, because there's two other proofs like at some point at two different occasions he kind of says like he doesn't have the time.
Right.
One time it's like when they're walking past like a sunset and he's just looking at the beauty of it and like really enjoying it.
And and it's like I think was the other one when and this is just me trying to remember and testing my memory. Was the other one when someone was like, no, I can't do that. It's going to take this amount of time. And he's like, I don't have that time.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was in the office. And that's why. Yeah.
And then they were just like, it's a instinctual feeling of this guy's really serious. I have to help this guy.
Yeah. Because he was, that seems specifically was that same guy. And like they were walking down the stairs and like, it's like we have to, it was in the office. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that happens. And they finally come to the conclusion that he fucking knew.
Yeah,
he obviously knew, and and it disappoints the son a lot because then like the son feels like a lot of regret and is like I should have, and I should have been there more and not have been the way it was. But also it really also gets to the point like he goes to the son throughout the film like goes to like his uncle and like the grandparents as well, if I'm not mistaken. And like that's where he really gets most of his advice from, and it's like not really good advice because at some point the uncle I think is the one that puts the idea of him like just banging prostitutes in his head basically. Yeah, so it's like not really ideal, but like that's his only family that he really gets a chance to talk to throughout the movie. If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember as much as I can without looking at my notes. So yeah, they've all get to the conclusion that he knew, and they all, at this point, they're all drunk.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And the police officer that found him,
Yeah.
comes here to burn incense and respect the memory, and he feels really bad because he thinks he killed him because it was snowing that night. He was at the playground. He was on the swing, and he heard singing, and he was singing the gondola song again.
Yeah.
And he thinks that he killed him because he should have brought him in, and because he thinks he froze to death.
Right.
And then he learns that it was probably cancer. And that's when everyone like starts to like be like, oh shit, we need to do stuff. Like we need to, we actually need to like, we have to honor his memory basically.
Yep.
And we're going to try and we're going to be different. We're going to go back in. We're going to actually do things. We're not going to,
Yeah.
And it's like at some point, like they're all like a big huddled mass of like a bunch of bros.
Yeah, they're
hugging
all crying and
together,
hugging and
yeah.
be like, we're gonna do things. We're gonna do things. Yeah.
And like, we get like good shots of like the toy from earlier and like his new hat. Oh yeah, the police officer also brings the new hat.
Yeah, that
having
he bought.
changed.
Yeah,
he's dead.
you're right. Having changed,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. Because he's dead.
Yeah. So
yeah, he physically changed. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So am I even making sense anymore? Probably
No,
not.
yes, you absolutely are. To
but-
me, at least. That's the only person that matters in this moment. Okay.
Right now, okay, got it.
Look at me, bitch.
Okay.
We're gonna get through this together.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So, and they say like they were never gonna forget this. I think was the very last thing is said, and it fades to black, and we fade back into the office, and they forgot.
Yeah.
It's the new boss. It's the new boss that like was underwing, and he just looks exactly the same. He has his glasses on, and he's like looking through it. And the guy that originally was like, oh, he fucking knew, like he stands up and is like, guys,
what the fuck? Yes.
And no one says anything. They all just stare at him for long enough for him to just like give up. And he sits down, and the last shot is him just being behind all his like books, basically. And I think the movie ends there, or it does the song again. I don't remember what happens, but that's the end of the movie. That's it.
Yeah.
But okay, so I just looked at my notes real quick. I lied.
Okay.
There's one last scene.
Okay.
Which I think is also more important than the last scene that I said.
Yeah.
So from it's not the song. What it is that we get like a maybe like 1.5, 2 minute scene.
Oh yeah, I know.
Where we just see the kids playing, and we pan up and see him just like standing over it while he was still alive, and like he just stares at it for like a couple seconds, and he just slowly walks away, and then we fade to black, and that's when the credits starts. Yeah. But I think it's more important because like that's his creation, and like that's like he did it, like that's him.
Yeah, it's like it gives you the answer of why.
Yeah.
It's not because he wanted the attention or the success.
Yeah.
It wasn't for the award. It wasn't to even influence other people.
Yeah.
It was just to make it.
Yeah. Which also kind of works too, because like when it's like
I mean other people, I guess children, but like for humanity.
Yeah, and like it's from that line earlier where it's like when I make this toy, I'm playing with every child in Japan. Yeah.
And it's not to. He wasn't even trying to convince everyone around him to do the same thing that he did.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about them. He has a limited amount of time, and he's just doing it because it's a net good on the neighborhood.
Exactly.
That's it. And I was talking. Okay. Before you said that, we moved on, and I think it's cut out now. But
I went to the bathroom, and then I looked at my notes, and it was like, oh fuck.
Oh,
God damn it.
It does change the entirety of the ending. Too.
Yeah, too. It's really
imagine
funny.
if it stops right, but cutting that last scene.
That would have gotten us in more trouble than the political segment.
I think so. It would have been. I mean, it would have been a moral crime. I think.
Yeah, it would have been
to misrepresent this wonderful movie.
And I think there's a lot of scenes that I'm missing out too, but because I think it is good to go watch this movie like tomorrow. Like
and I think watching it, you don't have to agree with the movie either. You could take an individualist perspective.
Yeah.
From this movie, I do think you're missing it a little bit, but that's my opinion. I'm not saying that is what it is.
No, yeah.
It's all these movies. You can watch them and come to a different conclusion than us for sure.
For sure, yeah.
But it reminds me of, and this is funny as fuck, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
At the end of it, Wes Craven, there's like a really famous thing where whoever wrote it, and the marketers for it, they wanted the last scene where the kids have beaten Freddy. They're like, he's gone. They've like, it's supposed to be like a opening shut thing where they figure out what's going on with Freddy. He's in their nightmares. He's gonna fucking whatever. This is either the first or the second one. I don't really know.
Is it Jack Skellington or who's Freddy? I don't know. I haven't seen.
Freddy is the guy that's in the dreams with the big knives.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So they defeat Freddy. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot his actual name. Freddy
Krueger. Yeah.
Freddy Krueger. Yeah, with his little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he the? Isn't no? There's so many fucking characters in that movie that I know, and I can't think of any of them right now.
Because he's just kind of been lumped in with everybody else.
Okay.
But the concept of the movie is like he was a janitor who was a pedophile, and then he was going to be outed to a bunch of people, and then he was lit on fire. And he's essentially like the concept of evil and fear, and it goes into people's dreams to scare the fuck out of them and kill them in their dreams.
Dude, I'm so fucking stupid. I just realized you meant Nightmare on Elm Street. I literally thought it Nightmare Before Christmas.
You haven't seen Nightmare Before Christmas?
No, I haven't.
It's meh.
Don't say that because my family is gonna kill you.
I saw it. I didn't see it as a kid. I think it's really, really good if you see it as a kid.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you see it as like an adult, it's like, this is really good.
Okay.
I love Oingo Boingo. I love what's his face.
That's fair. So yeah, it is Freddy Krueger. Yeah,
it's Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
Did you say Freddy Krueger as a joke?
Yeah, but I was right.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yes.
Can we like just start over the whole show?
No.
Can we just? Can we not have
this is the best podcasting I've ever done in my life.
Fuck.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Dude, I'm just gonna leave the mic over here.
Okay. Anyway, so the ending of Nightmare on Elm Street, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it. The kids, they find out about Freddy Krueger, he's a pedophile and all this crap, and he's the concept of evil and he kills people in their dreams. Right. And he targets children. Correct. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
And they've figured out that the way that they defeat him is by, like, not giving a shit.
Yeah, you're right, because that's what gives him the power is the...
Right.
Yeah.
But the movie, they knew the movie was so good that they wanted a sequel. So they didn't want it to end with he's gone because you don't think about him.
Yeah.
So, like, the ending shit, he comes out of the mirror. They walk and he's like in a mirror.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
And either Wes Craven or the guy that wrote it or whatever. I don't know if Wes Craven wrote it, and I'm not gonna look it up again because it's already like 9.
Yeah,
and I have to eat food soon because I haven't eaten lunch.
I have to edit this podcast before.
So we gotta move. We gotta move it along.
Yeah.
But he didn't want that to be the case because it goes against the entire concept of the movie, the entire meaning of the work.
Yeah.
Which is that. And it's like, you can tell, I love shit like that in movies where they just add it on at the end. Because it's like, that was like a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean, yeah.
In the creative process.
Like,
and I can hear it sometimes in like songs too, when you listen to like a piece, like a compositional piece.
Yeah.
That ends on like a sad note. And then they'll have like a little thing that's like, but actually it's a little hopeful too.
Yeah,
it's like, that conversation I find so interesting in all forms of media.
Yeah.
You're looking at a painting and your eyes are falling and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Oh, we're coming back over here. I'm just like, I love pieces of art or just works of art that are just like a conversation that the person that made it is having with himself.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Essentially.
Dude, I can't believe I thought you were saying that Jack Skellington was a pedophile. I'm so fucking...
That's very funny.
Fuck, I'm so dumb. I'm so fucking stupid. That's so
Jack
funny.
Skellington's a PDF file.
Yeah.
Is the name of the podcast?
No, I can't. No.
Man. Okay.
That's going to get us... We
but
don't have money. We don't have money. Yeah,
right.
Jesus Christ. Now let's just fuck up our rent for the next month.
Someday we'll have money and we can do the things that we want to do. Which will be this, is just better.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's a really good fucking
It's fantastic.
movie. Yeah, and no, I think it is good to watch now because
I think it's good to watch literally any moment.
Yeah.
But definitely now for sure.
Yeah, if you want a little bit of hope, I guess, because like even though it's like everything goes back to normal, there was at least a fight that happened, you know, like to get something done.
Yeah, well, it's like it's not even about that. It's about doing it. The park is there.
Yeah, and it's not good. Yeah,
which it's like and there's a Ozymandias is a poem by. I'm gonna look it up.
All right, here's another thing that makes me fucking stupid. The only reason why I know that word is because of Breaking Bad.
Percy, really? What was it in
it was
Breaking
the title
Bad?
of one of the episodes, like in the final season.
That's hilarious.
I want to say.
Do you know what it is?
I feel like I've looked it up, but I don't remember right now.
Ozymandias is a poem by Percy Bysshe. I don't know how to say it. Percy Shelley. And it is about essentially the concept of like your legacy.
Oh.
You know? So it's like, you know, even if you, maybe I just read it, honestly. It's fucking short. From 1818.
Yeah.
Okay. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "To vast and trunkless legs of stone, stand in the desert, near them, on the sand, half a sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed, and on the pedestal these words appear, my name is Ozymandias, kings of kings, look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away." So Ozymandias was a king that erected a sculpture or a monument to him in his eternity, and time weathered it down to a point where, ironically, it's saying, "Look at everything that I did," and it's not there.
Yeah, it's not
even all of your efforts will be lost away to time. And I remember, like, I was learning composition in high school from my uncle who did composition.
Oh yeah.
And we would do like little one-on-one tutor sessions about it, just as like a personal skill building thing. And I went to my English teacher, and because he asked me to go to her and ask for a poem to put to music. And she was like, "Here, read Ozymandias." And I know she gave it to me as like a wink wonk because she knew I wanted to go into music.
Yeah.
And I think she really was like, "Don't do this for fame."
Yeah, if you're going to do it for yourself. Yeah.
Do it because you really like it.
Then you really,
because
you need to do it.
She was very much like trying to tell people that because she went to New York to be an actress. And then she saw 9/11 and she was like, "Fuck this." And she became a really great English teacher that touched everybody's lives.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I totally get that though. Cause like, I have a need to do this podcast, like for sure. But also like, I don't want to do it because like I went to fucking California one time. I was like,
I don't fucking want to do this.
Maybe this part isn't that good actually.
Which is why, like, you know, this lady is so annoying. She gotta stop talking. They'd have so much more fans if she just shut the fuck up. Which is a real comment that broke me over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, man, I can't pay for food. I can't pay for medications. And I feel uncomfortable saying that on the podcast because I don't want people to send me money because I'm complaining about not having food. I don't want to beg because of my own shit.
Yeah.
I want to do this because I like doing it.
Yeah.
It's not even really about making people laugh or making them have a good time or whatever. It's because I like fucking yapping.
Yeah, selfishly, this is an ego project for the two of us.
Yeah, just like that's why it's going to exist forever.
Yeah.
As long as we like talking to each other.
Yeah, and even then, if we somehow don't, we're just going to have our own separate fucking podcast.
Separate podcast where we like it because we like yapping and we found out we like doing it to each other and going off of each other's shit.
Yeah.
That's literally it. It's not to get fans and get bitches and get money. More Money, More Bitches,
Drunken Dumpling, yeah.
Drunken Dumpling in Orlando, is because we like making each other fucking laugh.
Yeah.
And we like doing a creative thing. And it'll all be wiped off the internet when Trump the dictator makes a fascist internet.
Yeah, but I'm going to keep going until that happens.
Yeah, and they can throw me in jail. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I have to change what I say? Celebrities are like tweeting shit about being anti-Trump and then turning around and making apologies about it. And I feel really bad for them.
Yeah.
Because their
meant
agents,
the first
their
thing.
families are telling them to do that. I feel bad.
Yeah.
But luckily, we're in a position where we don't have to do that.
Yeah. We can actually, like, kind of say what we want for the most part. Yeah.
And you can find me annoying, and that's fine. But I don't know why you continue to fucking hurt yourself. I'm fucking free. Yeah. I'm germ free.
This is Sarah's descent to becoming Tim Heidecker from On Cinema at the Cinema.
Dude, yeah, I'm the leftist, whatever, Joe Rogan. There you go. Get your
spread the
dick
word,
sucked?
America.
I don't know.
What the fuck did you just say?
I just wanted to say that for some reason. My brain was like, say dick suck. Say it.
I'm gonna go to the.
okay.
I know we said we're not gonna beg for money, but we should go into ads now.
No, yeah, let's go into ads.
Yeah.
The lights have to stay on.
The lights have to stay on.
The electricity bill.
Welcome to the ad break.
Hello.
Hey, are you enjoying this podcast so far?
I know I am.
Then
I
you
actually
better-
am.
I'm having
I
fun
am this
too.
time. I'm not lying.
Hell yeah.
Like I normally do.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the gosh darn bell, and rate us 5 stars on Apple, Spotify podcast.
This feels like some real podcast in this episode.
Yeah,
We're
for
doing
sure.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to support the podcast financially, there's a couple ways to do it. I'm going to start off with straightovercoffee.com. Support a local roaster in Minnesota and get our coffee line.
Queer owned.
Yeah, and it's fucking independent.
Good people. Good
yeah,
people.
they're really good. Yeah, and they allow me to say the fuck word when I do the ads. Other companies wouldn't because they're
literally
pussies.
every other one. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have 2 different blends. Sarah has a Chaos blend. It is a dark roast. I'm pointing at mine.
Chaos blend, dark roast, Colombian bean, chocolate cream.
And
Joshua Chinlin, morning blend, light roast to medium roast. Really a medium roast. Whatever. Caramel flavored Brazilian bean. It's really good. Both
Yeah.
of them $28. One of them $16.
Yes, thank you, Sarah, for rushing through that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We only have 2 hours of recording. And if you want to support the podcast by buying us coffee, you can go to buymecoffee.com/APWSTR. We'll say what you want to say on the podcast.
Yeah.
As long as it's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm bigoted, you know? Yeah.
Bigoted at all. Yeah.
Elena, they then bought 5 coffees. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys have gotten me through more than one family death. Please take care of yourselves. I
Thank
love
you.
how much you both care about what's happening in Gaza and the U.S. You truly care about people. I wish that wasn't so rare. Please do what you need to stay afloat. I know money is tight. Sending what I can. Be nice to yourself. Recognize that you deserve community support just as much as everyone else. Blue heart emoji.
This one genuinely helped me. Actually,
Yeah.
reading it over the past couple of weeks genuinely did.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yes,
yeah.
thank you.
Danielle bought 3 coffees. Thank you. This is
Thank
the
you.
only. Yep.
I just said thank you.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Danielle bought 3 coffees. Thank you. This is the only podcast I listen to. I found you recently, and I am binging from the beginning. Smiley emoticon
Yeah.
with the wide open, the dropout logo. That one.
The dropout logo.
That they patented, right?
Yeah. Also, thank you. I don't know if that got into the edit.
Yeah,
I
thank
just
you.
forgot to say thank you a second time.
Yeah, thank you. very
Thank
much,
you, thank
yeah.
you, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of those will stay in, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You guys have the best takes on Reddit/listener stories, and I agree with everything, especially when Sarah brings out the boxing gloves.
Thanks so much.
I know this isn't a lot, but I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you both, and I hope you guys can continue this for as long as you feel like. And I also wish you the best in all your other endeavors, because you guys are genuinely good people who deserve everything you want in life. Smiley, regular smiley emoticon. Thank you.
so much. I forgot that these are all so nice.
Yeah, and we just complained for an hour about all the bad ones. You guys we very much appreciate these and all the nice
yes,
comments.
everyone. This is what I mean. The audience is so nice, and then there's others.
Yeah.
The others.
Off topic, and I know this is during the ad read. I'm so sorry. Bill Hader was on Conan's podcast, and he said verbatim, like, you remember only the like 90-95%.
Yeah.
And he said, like, there was a taxi cab driver that just rolled down his window and's like, SNL, you're not funny, to Bill Hader.
And
And he remembers that.
Yeah.
So, listen.
I mean, high calorie woman, the big one. Why is the big one so mad?
Small hands.
Small hands. This bitch looks like Waldo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, thank you all for the copies and all
Why are
the
their
kind
teeth
words.
so yellow?
Yeah, that one's a.
Yeah.
All right, but thank you all very much.
Sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julia bought 5 copies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I've been listening since 2020 on YouTube. I think.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the election was devastating. I was harassed at work the day of, so it was a mess all week.
Yeah.
But if I can't have my rights, then you better believe I'm going to get the transphobic, homophobic, misogynistic taken care of. And I'm not going to say the emoji because I think it implicates me in a couple crimes, but yeah.
You in a couple crimes? Can I see? Oh, I see.
Yeah, but
I mean, I don't know how it would implicate you.
I don't endure.
They're just laughing.
They're just
laughing.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
This is a special
They're
laughing
morbidly
emoji.
laughing.
Yeah.
That's what the emoji.
Yeah. I was super brave and all my bosses were super nice and professional, so if something is happening to you, say something.
Good.
That way, if they don't take you seriously, you know to find a new job.
Good.
Now that the heavy stuff is out of the way, I would really appreciate if you guys would give the band The Funeral Portrait a listen.
Yeah.
I met the lead singer 7 years ago as a teenager, and him and my brother are still friends with him and the whole band. They're an LGBT plus friendly emo rock band from Atlanta and just got their first Billboard #1 on the rock charts, and I am so proud.
I'll check them out.
My favorite song is "You're So Ugly When You Cry," but they don't miss. So listen to any of them. Sorry this is so long. I love you both and all the cool people who listen and to the ad read like me. Purple heart emoji, green heart emoji. Also, your pod is Joker colors.
Yeah, this one also broke me at the end. This was so nice, and then at the end, I realized, oh my god, my branding is Joker.
We gotta start wearing Joker makeup.
You fucking deserve.
Yeah.
No, it was wonderful.
Yeah,
thank you.
Very much. Yeah. Stephen the Gay, or it's Stephen with PH. So is it still
Stefan?
Stefan.
No, it's Stephen.
Don't.
It's either or. It doesn't matter.
Stephen the Gay bought 3 copies. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I don't think I read this one. Interesting. I've listened to y'all on and off for months, but especially after the election last Tuesday. I've been binging your old episodes, and it's just been such a great way to ignore all that. That happened on Tuesday, while also listening to people with really solid takes on interpersonal conflicts. I love y'all's unapologetic chaos because mood, and also listening to y'all has honestly helped me articulate better why I despise the we can still have different opinions and still be friends BS.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Anyways, thank you so much for being a bright spot in a scary world from an on and off depressed queer grad student. Hopefully gonna hop on Patreon soon when we get our grad union and I get paid better.
Yeah, whatever, man. I know money's tight. Money's tight for everybody.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why.
Do not feel like you have to send money.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Absolutely.
only if you're comfortable with it. Yeah, I don't.
And if you're able to and you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, I totally feel you about that. Like we can have different opinions and still be friends. We can have different opinions and still be friends. You're right.
But it depends on what the opinions are.
If you were like, I don't believe people should have rights,
that's not negotiable.
That's not an opinion.
Yeah, that's
just I'm a fascist and I'm not. And I don't tolerate that shit.
Yeah. God. Yeah, no, don't tolerate it, honestly.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. I really adore our audience though.
No, I do too. Yeah. Our audience is actually good. It is all the other people.
Cool as shit, man. Yeah. I will say with the person that was like, she's so and I know I'm going to yap about it forever. I hope to God she finds me annoying doing this. If she does listen, which I don't know why she would. I roasted her ass in the comments.
Yeah.
I feel like I would not listen anymore. But the woman that was like, oh, she's so annoying, she should stop talking, they'll have more fans, also got roasted by not me,
but the
another fan.
Yeah. Our actual fans. Yeah.
That genuinely impressed me and made me proud of our audience.
I'm gonna start liking comments finally because I do want to give credit to the people that leave constructive and good comments. Yeah.
I want to take a constructive thing from this, and I don't want it to just keep happening where, TikTok is breeding a bullying culture of children that aren't being watched by their parents and then taking it out on people.
Yeah.
And then growing up and not, then you're 23, you grew up on TikTok right now. You've probably been on TikTok since 2020.
Yeah.
Probably even earlier than that.
Probably,
when it was Musically. And then you're now turning around and being like, okay, I'm going to just dump all my feelings into the comments and hate comment like Reddit was.
Yeah.
I've been around the block a couple times.
Yeah,
I know what's up. I'm not too hurt by it, but sometimes someone says something so mean and so untrue that it does just break your brain. Words do matter. They do hurt. But, our fans are baller.
They are, yeah.
We've really emboldened them to be able to go and defend others that they feel need defending.
Yeah.
And that's really
That's
good.
awesome.
That's
Fucking
really
thank you
cool.
all for that. Yeah.
Thank you. You guys are cool.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Andy, they bought a coffee.
Thank you, Andy.
Hey, y'all. Just
Hello.
wanted to say, hope you two are hanging in there with these goddamn election results.
Yeah.
And I hope that goes for everyone listening, too. My husband just got a massive pay cut from his Amazon-owned job, and now we're going to have to switch to catastrophic health insurance.
Oh, my God.
I would wallow in misery, but instead I just want to say this. It's so imperative that we all start organizing within our communities. I implore everyone to listening to join an organization/local group.
Yeah.
Get to know your neighbors, get deep with your friends, and start taking power from these greedy fucks who don't care if we live or die.
Yeah.
Feeling really riled up and also grateful to y'all for being outspoken and kind-hearted. Sending love from Kentucky, heart emoticon. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We 100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's okay. Final one.
Yeah.
Sarah, parentheses, a different Sarah, bought a coffee.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
This is the first time I've ever bought a coffee, and I wanted to continue doing so and support you guys through and through. I've lived in a third world country my whole life, but recently just moved to the U.S. and got a job, which is how I've afforded to buy you guys a coffee.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
I've been listening to you guys way back, even when I was not in the U.S. This is to let you know you're reaching people internationally. I don't want to think about that. That's we have problems here, but no, that's cool. Thank you.
It is really cool, honestly.
Cool, yeah. I would listen to you guys while I pretended to be busy at my office job. You got me through 8 hours of work as I've listened to all of your episodes at this job, even the Wolf novel Sarah read through.
Hell yeah.
I hope this motivates you to do what makes you happy as it's reaching other people on the other side of the world. Parentheses, no pressure, lol.
Thank you. I don't take any I do really like it.
Yeah, and also, yeah, like it's always reminding ourselves that like that it is international is fucking crazy. But like we've been like, I think the main one for a little bit was Australia, but now it's gone even to like UK, a couple other places. Yeah.
Yeah, we have some Germany, Finland.
Yeah, like just everywhere pretty much. Yeah.
Lots of UK people, which I find fun.
Yeah.
Because I grew up on a lot of British comedy.
Yeah, so it's like, hell
it's
yeah.
nice to know that it is
translating.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. But thank you all for those coffees. If you want to buy us a coffee, you can go to buymecoffee.com/APWSTR. If you want to support us on a monthly or yearly basis, you can go over to patreon.com/APWSTR. It is starting at $1. If you give us $5 or $10, you get your name at the end of the podcast as well as in the description of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And you get exclusive content. We have Thus Spoke Zarathustra.
We got 10 episodes in there. I'm working on getting the next. I think I might just talk about the last 2 weeks of my mental health.
Yeah.
Part of it is like, I want to come back with a good episode, like a happy, fun episode.
Yeah.
And that is not going to, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, but there's Sarah versus Matt Damon, which we will get back on. It's just,
if I see Matt Damon's face right now also, I'll throw up.
Yeah, so I don't want to force her to do something. And there's also like there's times where we made like exclusive Reddit stories that went up there from like a couple like years ago, but they're still up there if you haven't had a chance to watch them.
Yeah, and also the Discord's a big deal.
Yeah, and we have a book club in the Discord this month. We're reading Severance by
Ling Ma.
Yeah, so
it's really good.
It is really good. I've already started it and I'm into it.
It's a sleeper hit. I've never heard of it, and it's like I think this might be up there with one of my favorite novels this year.
Yeah, so if you want to access to the Discord just in general, or if you want to join the book club, patreon.com/APWSTR. If you sign up for a yearly plan, it is 10% off. Until then, if you want to support Palestine, Gaza,
Palestine, Sudan, Congo,
yes,
Lebanon, also hurricane relief. I'm not sure if that's still going on. I'll look into it.
Yeah.
If it is, then it'll be in there. If it's not, then it'll be taken out.
It is for sure in our link tree as well. It should be some of them in the description as well.
Yeah.
And if you want to join our distributed computing team, help find cures for cancer, there's Folding at Home and World Community Grid. Those links are down below as well.
Yeah. And our merch, all of our merch goes to the PCRF.
Yes. Yeah. And I got to send that over. It's only $2 was our cut, but I'll send that over. Yeah.
It's good shit.
Yeah. So I will send that over tonight. Until then, enjoy the rest of the episode. I don't think there's much else.
Stay frosty.
Yeah.
You bitches.
Oh, Twitch.tv, guy nicknamed JC.
Yeah, Josh is doing gaming streams. Is really fun.
Yeah. All right. See you all the rest of the episode. Bye.
I don't know what this is in referral to.
Oh,
yeah.
What's up?
Reddit now.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what this is in referral to.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's from r/self, and I just thought it was funny. But it seems to be like a reference to something politically that I don't understand. Politically in the zeitgeist, just talking like a cultural thing.
Okay.
Saw boobs as a child had no negative impact on life.
Okay.
I just think this shit is funny as hell.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see.
I want your pure, raw, uncut reaction.
I'm gonna look up what r/self actually is real quick.
It's just talking about yourself.
Oh,
stories
really? That's
from
it?
your
Okay.
life. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So didn't fuck him up. All right.
Yeah. It was likely around 1995 or so, when I was about 6 years old. My dad was out on a client entertainment, and I was home with my mother and younger sister living in a Baltimore suburb at the time. Sister had already gone to bed, and I was watching a movie with my mom on one of the cable movie channels, TNT, TBS, etc. This was the era before DirecTV, Fios, and all that. I don't know what Fios is, but I assume it's similar to DirecTV.
Probably,
From context clues.
Okay.
Everyone just got 100 channels or so on their TV and had memorized the channel numbers, so would enter the number, then press enter on the remote to flip channels.
Listen, I'm not this old. I remember using the
remember
remote.
them,
I
man?
do remember.
Do you
Yeah,
remember?
it sucked. I'm not gonna look back on
I
that with any
liked
glory.
I hate going into like a hotel
Oh yeah, and that's
and
all.
you're like, what the fuck? Is it 3? Is it 5? What's
Yeah,
the
that's
weather?
fair.
What's the
Yeah.
news? Okay. Anyway, it was about 9 p.m. or so at night, and my mom and I were watching a movie. I don't remember which one it was, but all of a sudden a woman took her top off and revealed uncensored breasts. They looked to be about 34 Ds.
Okay, all right.
But that's all I can remember. My mother was shocked, wondering how the channel allowed uncensored tits on cable TV. She scrambled around and flipped the channel off, then called my aunt to get her take on the matter. When my dad came home, she told him I had seen boobs on the TV. Nearly 30 years later, and I can report that seeing uncensored tits on TV when I was 6 had no negative impact on my life. I grew up to become a good student, get a good job, marry a wonderful woman, and now I have a beautiful daughter. The breasts I saw on TV that day did not turn me into a serial killer, rapist, or other unsavory character.
Whoa, we weren't bringing this up. Wait, why are you bringing this up?
But who knows? Maybe I was just one of the lucky ones, which I love. That
The lucky one? That's
I was
crazy.
just one of the lucky ones.
Yeah,
that
it's
got
like
hit with boobs on the TV.
Yeah, it really reads like a movie script. Like back in 1999, I was in the Baltimore suburbs,
Oh, yeah, like,
and
what
then it's
was,
like,
I love.
and
I,
then like
I just think it's good writing.
I think so too.
This is
Yeah.
an interesting man.
That's weird. Okay, I have a similar story actually.
What?
Weirdly enough, so when I was 8,
Yeah.
maybe I was 8. I don't remember what year did the first Hangover movie come out? Do you remember?
Oh God, I was in middle school.
2007, 2008, something like that.
I was in either 6th or 7th grade, for sure.
Yeah,
Because I remember everyone I know
Yeah,
singing the Mike Tyson song
yeah. Oh yeah, fucking Christ.
for part 1.
Yeah, I can't believe I had to say part 1. That's so crazy. They made more of them.
2009.
2009. Okay, so I was either 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
My family, I guess, didn't want me home alone, so all of them.
Yeah.
I think this was a family outing. I think it was like my sisters were for sure there, and I think at least one of my parents were there.
They took you to a lot of places.
Yeah, that I probably shouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
Arguably, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my insurance later to get a referral.
Therapy,
Yeah.
No.
But no. That so. Like, apparently I can, all the curse words were fine, which honestly I still agree with to this day. Like, whatever, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it depends.
I mean, there were still some slurs in there that I wouldn't agree
There
with.
were a lot of slurs
there
in
were a lot
there.
of slurs
That's
in
my
there.
only thing where I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
But like, shit and fuck, whatever, right?
Yeah, shouldn't fuck with.
And like, because I never even said it until I was like my teens. Like, they said it all the time, but I still wouldn't, like, because I was scared.
You never, like, kids around you at an early age, were they cursing?
I think 5th grade, maybe. So maybe around this
Really?
time. Yeah.
Apparently in Atlanta, my brothers, when they were in like kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
Like there was, my mom picked up my brother from kindergarten and the teacher was like upset. It was like, this is the most cussingest class I've ever had.
That's so funny.
And my brothers cursed like sailors growing up. And that's why
Yeah.
I curse like a sailor. I say it's because my dad was a sailor, but he was born in the 50s. He didn't curse.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But my brothers did all the time. And then every time they would be like, Sarah, don't say that.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay. And then I would at school.
Yeah, so they were okay with me hearing all that horrible shit throughout the movie. And then at the end of the movie, when they show all the photos and it's like their crazy night that I don't remember.
Right.
First one is like a naked woman. Like, and that's where they were like, Josh, don't look. And it's like, all right.
Okay, so
yeah.
that's bad. But
Yeah.
the cursing is great. The
Yeah,
drugs.
like where the lines were really
they all
funny.
get roofied, don't they?
Yeah, yes.
And then the big twist, spoiler alert for a 2009 film.
Yeah,
The roof, it's like, yeah, roofies. They're on the roof. He's on the roof.
yeah.
So the entire time they're trying to find Doug, right?
Yeah.
Because he's getting married.
And also, I think one of them was the one that roofied everybody. Like,
yeah, they roofied themselves. It's
Yeah.
not, yeah.
Yeah, but no, yeah.
What is it? Was he trying to roofie a woman?
No, I don't think so. Because what happened was I think they were all trying to party and they like all like cheered and then it cuts to black I think and then we see them all like
okay.
Yeah, so I think it is just I think it's Zach Galifianakis' character. He thought he had a drug, but it wasn't the drug he thought it was.
It was a roofie.
It was a roofie.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah,
like he bought it not knowing what it was, and the guy sold it to him thinking he was gonna roofie somebody because he's fat and ugly.
No, yeah, it's
I guess because that's just like
I don't remember.
It's the mean comedy of the 2000s.
What are you talking about? What do you mean that didn't fuck me up? But no, yeah, no,
Yeah.
for at least a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's weird. That's such a weird.
Isn't it funny that those people, the people that really love The Hangover and think it's like a fucking really good shit, they'll be like, yeah, but Porky's, that was too much. Like, yeah, it was. And so was The Hangover.
Yeah, two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
In regards to that, yeah. But yeah, solved it.
Solved
That's
it.
weird. That's a weird coincidence.
I don't know
Story.
what it's about, but I think it's a funny story. I think it's funny that he remembers the size.
Yeah, that's like okay. It
It's
actually
burned
did.
into his
It
brain.
did affect you, actually, fam. I don't know if because you did remember it.
Yeah, like they flashed light on a fucking on firmware. You know?
God, yeah, fucking.
I think I'm updating your firmware, bro.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Next story.
With images of titties.
Oh yeah. Okay. I have to start with this one. I have to.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the asshole for refusing to attend my best friend's wedding after she replaced me as maid of honor because I'm, quote, too fat, parentheses, I'm pregnant, and asking her to pay me back for everything? For some reason, this is on poo mode. I don't know what happened.
This is on poo mode.
I don't know why. Maybe Reddit's a bad website.
We've been saying the title, just walking around like, "Am I the asshole for this?"
The
is
quote,
the parentheses.
too fat, parentheses, I'm
pregnant.
Yeah.
Is so funny.
Yeah.
Too fat, parentheses, I'm pregnant. We can't make it the title because everyone will think I'm pregnant.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Which would suck right now.
Right. Okay. I, 27 female, have been best friends with Claire, 28 female, since high school.
Okay.
When she asked me to be her maid of honor, I was thrilled and went all out to make her wedding special.
Okay.
I paid for a bridal shower, bachelorette party, parentheses, a weekend trip, decorations, and other expenses, spending several $1,000s.
Oh my God.
While it was a lot of money for my husband and me, I wanted to make her big day perfect because she's like family to me.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently not the other way around. 2 months
Damn.
ago, this
is a curse.
Yeah. 2 months ago, I shared that I was 4 months pregnant. Claire congratulated me, but started acting distant afterward. She excluded me from conversation about the wedding and made passive comments about how, quote, hard it is to coordinate when people are, quote, distracted. I brushed it off thinking it was wedding stress.
Yeah.
A few days ago, she sat me down and told me she didn't want me in the wedding anymore.
Oh.
Her reason? I'm, quote, getting too fat. And she doesn't want me in the pictures.
Okay.
She says she has a very specific, quote, vision for her wedding, and I no longer fit it. I was devastated. I asked if this was about my pregnancy, but she insisted it wasn't personal. She said she was placing me as maid of honor with another friend who fit her, quote, aesthetic.
Okay.
I told her if I wasn't in the wedding, I wouldn't attend at all. I also handed her the receipts for everything I'd pay for and told her she or her fiance needed to reimburse me since I'd only spend that money as her maid of honor. Claire flipped out, calling me selfish and accusing me of trying to ruin her wedding.
Yeah, of course she does.
She said it was, quote, tacky to ask for the money back and that expenses like these were, quote, my responsibility as maid of honor.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not maid of honor.
But you're not, yeah.
Yeah, I reminded her that she removed me from that role, so those expenses were no longer mine.
There you go. Good clarification. Great.
Yeah, just a reminder.
Just a reminder.
Yeah. Since then, Claire, her fiance, and even her family have been spamming me with calls and texts.
Wow.
They're accusing me of being petty and overreacting because of, quote, pregnancy hormones.
Wow, I see why she's selfish. Literally everyone in her life has enabled her to this point. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're also saying I should have just let it go and written off the money because weddings are stressful, and Claire didn't mean to hurt me. Okay. My husband has been incredibly supportive and says I did the right thing. He's furious at how Claire treated me and agrees that I shouldn't be put out of thousands of dollars for a wedding I'm not part of.
Right.
I feel heartbroken and humiliated by someone I thought was my best friend. Still, the constant backlash has made me second guess myself. Am I the asshole for standing up for myself and asking for reimbursement? Should I have just quietly stepped aside?
I don't think you're the asshole at all. I will say, like, asking for the money is fine. I just don't think you should expect to get it back.
That's fair.
Because that's the only thing I'm like, was there a contract? You know what I mean?
Legally,
like,
yeah.
Are you going to sue her for this or no?
Those 6 months at that lawyer's office makes
she stole money from you.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, that's really...
By emotionally manipulating you into thinking that she cared about your friendship when she doesn't. She's just a fat phobic piece of garbage.
Yeah.
But like, my response, and maybe this is some cowardly shit, you know, that I would do, but I would just be like, okay, this is a really expensive asshole tax. Or the asshole tax being
no, I'd go to small claims court.
Yeah, right. But I would like, I guess I'm like, but then you have to sit with a lawyer and it's like a personal dispute that doesn't have a contract. So it's like, he's not gonna do it pro bono. You know, like you have to pay for the guy to do, like, that's the problem with people like this, is they hurt you so much to the point where even if you try to fight back,
yeah, it's like
you're still hurting yourself by spending more money on this. And it's like, and then it becomes about the principal, and then there's court fees, and then there's that and this or whatever if she fights it. But then I'm like, the reason that I'm a little bit like, is this story real? Because like, why would the family be blowing up her phone? I get like, you can have like your flying monkeys or whatever, and they can throw shit at you. And you could have that if you were an insane, selfish person. Yeah. And just like, it's, to me, it seems like they're scared that she's going to sue them. And I'm like, but that doesn't make sense. And I'm making up a lot of shit in my head. But I'm like trying to understand everyone's motives. And I don't really get it.
Okay.
Like a lot of this doesn't, like, I just don't understand the mentality of everyone other than OP, which seems like a red flag to me that it might not be real.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I can understand that. Yeah.
It's like, it sounds like they're from Backwardsville. If it is real.
No,
OP, they're from Backwardsville. Yeah. You should tell them to go back to Backwardsville. Yeah. Bruh. They suck ass. Yeah, not the asshole. But I would just do like, you know, friends like this, they always have like signs where they're like, oh yeah, can I go in to eat? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, actually, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And you paid for me to eat or whatever. Can I borrow $20? Yeah. Can I have it back? No. Fuck you. That's selfish. Great. Yeah. But do you want to come to my wedding? No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask for the $20 back. Have my $20. I gave it to you.
I can understand that. Yeah. I guess, it's just like crazy.
It is. Yeah, it's a little too crazy to me.
Okay, that's fair.
You got to step your game up if this is fake.
And if this is real?
If this is real, I'm sorry. But if it's fake, you got to step your game up. You got to step your writing up. But if it's real, damn. Yeah. I'm glad you got out of there.
I guess, I don't know. I feel like the thing that makes it real is that it doesn't have the not even real. At least it's definitely not AI for sure, the way it's written.
Oh, okay. It's like a lot of mistakes.
Not even a lot of mistakes. I actually think there was like one mistake that like that I wouldn't see an AI making. Yeah.
I'm sure this has happened to someone once.
Yeah.
Multiple times probably. It probably happens to a lot of people because I know weddings make people crazy. And also, like, when you're the best friend of somebody and then you're their maid of honor, somehow it always ends up that you guys have a falling out.
Weird. Yeah, like...
It really is constant. Like, all of a sudden, they treat you completely different, that they have your entire friendship. Which is so funny. Yeah. It's like moving in with your friend.
You didn't realize that it was going to be... there was a stipulation to your friendship, which is... don't be fat, I guess.
Don't be fat?
Yeah.
Great. Even while pregnant, somehow be skinny.
Yeah, like that's crazy as shit.
Yeah, I just see this as theft straight up.
Yeah, like,
and I think you could make a case, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know.
I think it's just outlandish enough, the things that are being said, like the words, the quotes that are being used to describe like how she's fat. I feel like it could be a toss up of whether or not it's a real or fake story, but I think like I verged on the idea of real because I'm like, you know, people kind of suck right now. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's believable. I've definitely experienced a lot of hateful things recently that I never would have thought I would have ever experienced prior to this election.
Yeah, so it's like
prior to 2016, I guess.
Yeah, fair, yeah. So
I wouldn't disbelieve it if it wasn't real. I'm just saying those are the red flags to me, and I think it's important to point out.
Yeah,
because I don't want to just sit here and say that everything is real or not.
That's fair.
You know?
Yeah, I get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say not the asshole as well. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously not the asshole.
I don't know in what universe. Oh, you shouldn't actually ask for money back. That's kind of cheap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like a very clear cut, they're a bad person.
Yeah, they're a selfish person. They're projecting it onto you when you say that they're selfish.
And I go immediately to like, what can you do then? Because it's like, there's no talking with this person.
Yeah.
They're obviously so far gone that they've stolen money from you and somehow have made it your fault.
Yeah, like.
I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
I'm trying to think, like, would a lawyer care?
I wonder.
I think, yeah, he should, but like, I don't think there's any. If there's no contract, like, written down thing about it, I wonder if they're going to be like, well, I don't know. It's going to be like a he said, she said, she said situation.
Yeah. What you got to do is you got to start wearing a wire. You're going to go to the wedding. You're going to get a confession out, and then you're going to make bank.
And then you're going to uncover a big conspiracy.
Yeah.
I needed that money for the bricks of cocaine for the after party, and I have to pay the Don back.
And then Danny Ocean comes out. I don't
know
why
Solid Snake is in a cardboard box in the corner.
You're smoking weed with Sonic, yeah, etc., etc. One of those I stole from the McElroys. The other ones we've perfected.
Yes.
Solved it.
Solved it.
Okay.
Cool.
That's so funny.
That's really funny. Okay, hold on. Oh, I was gonna do the D&D one first because I've been doing that first, but it'll be second.
God damn it.
Okay, DMD Circle Jerk. Am I the asshole for cheesing my DM's genius puzzle?
Ooh, okay.
And this is something that I'm reading that I am realizing maybe I...
Are you reading this to the wrong person right now?
No. Just maybe this is a interpretive dance. I'm expressing my feelings by reading a Reddit story.
This is Sarah
through
getting
art.
mad at me for making Stephen Jenkins a character.
Stephen Jenkins, the lead singer of Third Eye Blind,
is my current player model as.
That's all I'm saying. So my barbarian, rogue, ranger, wizard, bard, druid, artificer, multiclass, and his party were down in the mines of quote unquote the mines, where we encountered this super cool glowing magical puzzle that my awesome DM probably spent a lot of time putting together.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I proceeded to roll 3 nat 20s in a row on my skill checks, and at that point, he was practically forced to just reveal the entire fucking puzzle that he conjured with nothing but his sweat, blood, and raw intellect.
I love that this is written from the perspective, like it's
Of a
obviously the
player,
DM
but it's
doing
the
it, but
DM.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was pretty chill about it because he's a really handsome, chill person, which the entire party loves, which he knows because we whisper to each other all the time while looking at him.
You know, there's not enough Am I the Asshole stories where they just
It's
say
like
the perspective
obvious.
from the other person's perspective.
I think there are enough. I just think we are dumb enough to read them on this show.
True, yeah.
Anyways, am I the dumb, stupid asshole?
That's so fucking funny. Holy shit. Dude, oh my god.
Some of the writing in D&D Circle Jerk is amazing.
Yeah.
This is some of the best comedy writing I've seen in a long time.
I'm trying to think of which frustration specifically you're trying to go after with that story.
I don't choose something that's specifically about one frustration, one of my many frustrations. Each story I choose
make it just
is
vague enough?
its own person with its own world and its own story circle within a story circle within a story circle of the thousands and millions of unlimited frustrations that I have at any point in time.
Okay, that's
because
fair.
I'm
Yeah.
a miserable human being.
So this frustration was when
yeah,
when I rolled 20 nat 20s in a row and
I had to move to the fucking D&D Beyond thing because everyone was rolling nat 20s, goddammit, which I believe them. I believe them.
Yeah.
But then the fucking algorithm started making you all roll nat 20s on everything other than your attacks.
Yeah. Attack rolls apparently we're not good at.
Your
But boy oh boy, can I convince someone there's vampires afoot.
yeah.
God. Solved it? That's
Solved
fucking
it.
great. That's a good one. That's some just good creative writing, baby.
I know, that's good. I'm using this as a way to just be like, I like writing. I don't want to talk about it more.
Yeah. Okay, this one's a fun one as
Okay,
well.
hell yeah.
I got a lot of wedding ones for some reason.
You know what it is?
Is it wedding season right now? No, it's like
well, is it? Maybe. I think it might.
It might be the fall wedding season.
Well, because every wedding that we went, out of the 3 weddings we've gone to, 2 of them were in November, December.
Ah, fuck, really?
Yeah.
Weird. Maybe it's cheaper.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. But there's also a bunch of the new version of Am I the Asshole TikToks are women like makeup artists.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
reenacting it. So they're like putting on their makeup and like, get ready with me while I tell you about this. You tell me if this situation, if I'm a dick, if I'm an asshole or not. And they'll do it. And it's like, I think a lot of the ones with those, they really encapsulate the wedding version of it.
Ah, okay.
This is the Reddit Am I the Asshole industry, man.
Yeah,
this is inside
crazy.
baseball. Is it inside the baseball industry?
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Moving past the baseballs, damn it.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for refusing to label my wedding cake as vegan because a guest felt, quote, tricked? Do you think this person was tricked? Let's start there.
Probably not. And I've told this to Josh when he read this out loud. Every vegan sweet I've ever had, and maybe this is just my experience, it has never been a trick. It has always been, this is vegan. It's written on it. Someone screams it at you as they hand it to you. They lovingly kiss you on the cheek and say, it's vegan.
Yeah, yeah.
This brownie's vegan. Remember when you eat it, it's
when you
vegan.
fucking eat it, yeah. My husband, 32 male, and I, 30 female, had a vegan wedding because we're both vegan.
Okay, makes sense.
2 = 2, baby.
Yep.
We made it clear in advance that the food and cake would be plant-based, and no one complained until the reception.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking except, but okay.
Yeah. You know I love pausing at those words.
Yeah, I know it.
The cake was gorgeous. 3 tiers decorated with edible flowers. Towards the end of the night, one of my husband's aunts, Linda, came up to me looking visibly upset.
Oh no, Linda. Oh no, Linda. The worst has happened, Linda. You ate a cake that tasted bad. Oh no, Linda, no.
She said it was, quote, disrespectful to have a vegan cake on display because it felt like I was, quote, pushing my lifestyle on everyone.
And honestly, how dare you have a cake that you can eat at your own wedding?
This is the best line I'm going to ever read on the show.
Oh, yeah?
I told her the cake wasn't meant to make a statement.
The cake is not meant to be a statement.
I just wanted a vegan cake, goddammit. It was just the dessert we chose for our wedding.
Okay.
She insisted I either move the cake off the main table or add a sign saying it was vegan so people weren't, quote, tricked into eating it.
At the vegan wedding.
At the vegan wedding that was apparently, we said it was vegan earlier on. This one's also poo mode for some reason, because I guess because vegans need to die, I guess. I don't fucking know.
People are really defending idiocy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I refused because 1, it was my wedding. 2, it's a cake, not propaganda.
It's a cake. That's the title of the episode.
It's a cake, not propaganda.
Yes.
And 3, no one else seemed to care. Linda ended up storming out, and now my in-laws are saying I should have compromised to avoid drama. That's not a compromise. That's you not being able to do something. I think Linda's reaction was ridiculous, but my husband thinks I could have just put up a sign to keep the peace. Am I the asshole?
Your husband is weak-willed and will not survive the winter. Yeah, no. Someone needed to karate chop Linda in the face.
Yeah, because
take her back to kindergarten to teach her how to read.
People will not read wedding invitations, apparently, because
they don't read anything, dude.
Because you put the sign up there, it's not going to work.
It won't work. Would that actually calm Linda down? No.
No.
She wants to exert a weird sense of control because she's sad and alone. Even if she's married, even if she's got kids, even if she has enough things in her life.
Yeah, that bring her joy.
To possibly bring her joy, she's selfish enough to not be grateful for them.
And is still taking it out on you.
On a random person. Because no one will listen to her because she's awful. She's awful and she makes everyone feel bad around her.
Move the cake to a side table is fucking crazy of an idea, though. That's really like, why would you do that?
Dude, straight up.
Are you going to tell them, is there even a side table at the place? You're going to get one of the employees like, hi, I'm so sorry. I know we planned this wedding for 7 months and I told you what to get and you probably only brought exactly that.
This is why you have security and you have to sick them on people at your wedding.
Yeah.
You really do.
Book them, boys.
Book them, boys. At our wedding, I'm going to be like, so everyone, there's a pit of eels below us.
Yeah.
And if you say one goddamn thing wrong, I'm going to
It's opening.
It's opening, and I don't care who indiscriminately falls down into that pit.
Inadvertently, yeah. Fucking God, that's so funny.
No, indiscriminately.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm not discriminating. Everyone
Gets it. Yeah.
gets the eel pit.
God.
If you dare cross me
Why do we
at my own wedding?
God, I'm so sick of. I said this to you while we were doing this. I said, and I'm not even fucking vegan. I just said meat eaters are fucking annoying, man. Like, it's not even vegans anymore.
You're turning into a vegan.
Like, I think
veganite.
Honestly, like, I think like vegetarian, I think is easier, and I think if I wanted to become vegan, that would be the first step. But like,
being
you
a
guys,
vegetarian.
yeah, like, but you guys are so fucking sensitive over a cake, man. Like
And after so many years
of being told like all
vegans are annoying, they constantly talk about it. It's like, yeah, I don't think so, fam.
Yeah, you're the one talking about it right now. Wait a minute.
Who's actually talking? And it's hard not to relate it to politics because it feels like, I can't have it. Why do you have a rainbow flag? You are a bunch of snowflakes for whatever.
Right.
I'm the snowflake, but you can't handle a flag
with like 7 colors on it. Yeah.
I used to have a pronoun pin on here. It's only not on here because I don't know where it is right now. I think it fell off.
And people were
like, opinion discarded pronouns. I have it on there because a friend from work, I had a friend from work that was trans that gave it to everybody so that it would be more inclusive.
Yeah, and it was nice. That was a good thing to do, actually.
Yeah, and I wore it because we were good friends and I liked that they gave me a gift.
Yeah. I got some free shit. Hell yeah, let's go.
Also, it's honestly useful. A lot of people think because of the way I dress is more masculine that I'm a they, them.
Yeah, but
I'm one of them they, thems.
Yeah, but you're she, her.
I am a she, her. It doesn't hurt me when you gender me as they, them. Sometimes it gets to be a lot.
I think maybe because I'm just so cool and awesome, but like if someone says they, them to me, like I'm not going to get pissed off. I'm like, oh, you probably just don't know.
I think it's just confusing because there's 2 people on the podcast. So if they're talking about me saying something, but they say them, I assume it means both of us. And I'm like, but Josh doesn't think that.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I'm the idiot. Don't yell at Josh.
Specific TikTok? Yeah, whatever.
But that's it.
Oh, that's fair, yeah. I don't know, yeah. Fucking
I don't. Why complain?
Why
I don't
complain?
know. I literally think that's what it is. It's just I'm miserable.
I need to complain.
No one likes me, and I don't know why.
Vegan, and you're pushing a narrative onto me.
You're pushing your narrative. Do you remember when we were accused of? And I love this, and I'm sorry I bring it up all the time.
Okay.
Everyone.
Maybe I don't remember this because I don't know where this is going.
Of like pushing an adopt, don't shop narrative. I was like, what is the narrative?
I don't. Yeah.
What is the narrative? Adopt, don't shop.
Yeah. That.
Like, what do you mean?
I don't. Did we just say that like you should adopt pets and then they added a bunch of extra
about
words?
The concept of ethical breeding.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And
I didn't know, and now I do know, and I still don't really have an opinion about it.
Yeah, we've never had an opinion.
I've never truly had an opinion any sort of which way. Or like when people are like, your take is wrong. I'm like, what take?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I'm talking about Solid Snake in a cardboard box eating nachos.
Around. Yeah, like that's
a take?
That's a take somehow? I don't know how that is, yeah.
I mean, maybe if we're more serious, it's a more serious take. But lots of times it's like, you said ferrets are rodents. That's a take and your take is wrong. No, I'm just wrong.
Yeah, that's a fact, actually.
It's a fact. It's just a falsehood, I think.
Yeah, that's falsehood. That's better, yeah.
It was wrong information that I was spewing.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not a take. You can't decide whether or not a ferret is a rodent or not. It is or it isn't.
Yeah, it's a provable thing.
And apparently it isn't.
Yeah. So,
according to people.
Whoops.
In my comment section and the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just find it very funny, the misappropriation of words that I do all the time. But I don't go up to people and demand them to move their cake. How
fucking dare you have a vegan cake at your vegan wedding?
How fucking dare you?
Why wouldn't you complain about all the other food too?
You dare got me a birthday gift on my birthday?
You fucking bitch.
Or was it happy birthday?
Push to the ground, yeah. Solved it?
At my birthday party on my birthday?
God. Almost at the halfway point. Okay.
Woo! All right, we got this. Am I the asshole for telling my mom she'll never have grandkids because of how she voted?
Ooh.
This is a serious one.
Okay.
Yeah. Important info. My parents and I, only child, live in a state with very restrictive reproductive health laws. In summer of 23, I, 30 female, came off birth control because of some pretty bad side effects. My spouse, 33 male, and I were always ambivalent about kids. We figured if it happened, and if not, parenthood just wasn't meant for us. Fast forward to the holidays of 23. When visiting my in-laws out of state, I was rushed to the ER, bleeding out internally with what turned out to be a ruptured ectopic pregnancy.
Oh, shit.
I underwent emergency surgery where they stopped the bleeding, but I did lose my right fallopian tube.
Oh, my God.
After this, I went back on birth control and had my doc do a full workup before my spouse and I decided next steps. The workup revealed a large, benign tumor on my remaining tube, as well as significant uterine fibroids. I was told that any pregnancy I had would be high risk and that carrying to term was not as likely, but also not impossible. Given the diagnosis and that my state has now caused the need for a legal team's input for providing emergency abortions in the case of a mother's health being in jeopardy. So that was a lot of words, but I'm going to say that again for everyone.
Yeah, no, because this is fucking insane. Yeah, like...
Given the diagnosis and that my state has now caused the need for a legal team's input for providing emergency abortions in the case of a mother's health being in jeopardy. So the doctor can't give an emergency abortion to a mother
unless they get legal involved to see if it's even legal to do.
See if it's possible. They have to approve it.
Yeah.
Legal has to approve it first.
Which is really good when you have like seconds
Someone
on
dying.
the clock. Yeah, like...
Yeah. Health being in jeopardy, I decided to move forward with removal of my uterus and remaining tube instead of risk death a second time.
Yeah.
The surgery occurred the day after the election, and I am recovering well physically. Still working on the emotional side.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, understood.
Yeah. My mom, who really fell down the MAGA pipeline in the last 2 years, called me a few days ago for our monthly catch-up. I had not told her or anyone besides my best friend and spouse about the procedure because I wanted to come to terms with my decision before having to explain it to others. She went off on a long rant about how the new government will be great for families for when she becomes a grandma, and that a national abortion ban would save so many lives of unborn babies.
This is a slam dunk. What you're about to do. Yeah, yeah.
I completely lost it and screamed at her that she would never become a grandma, and it's because of how she and those like her voted. I told her I had to have everything removed so I couldn't become pregnant and actually die this time. I hung up after that and had a breakdown. My dad, who is not MAGA, called me a few days ago to let me know that he was sorry that I had to make this decision, that he hoped I healed, but that I couldn't talk to my mom like that,
Healed?
and I need to apologize.
It's been what, like days? Healed? Fuck you. And also fuck you trying to be like, you should talk to your mom still. That's great. Apologize. Go fuck yourself.
Yep. Personally, I don't want to apologize for what I said. You shouldn't.
Correctly, you shouldn't apologize.
You shouldn't do that. I will apologize for how I said it. Don't do that. But I really don't think I'm that much of an asshole at the end of the day. So
you're not
the asshole.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
You're not wrong. Your anger isn't even misplaced.
Yeah,
It's very correctly placed. What else could you get angry about if you couldn't get angry about this?
Yeah, like
that's
this is
what
a very
I've been asking
cut and
myself.
dry, like there were consequences from fucking 2016 to 2020 that carried through.
And even pre, a lot of people I think are forgetting a lot of the politics.
It was still hard, yeah.
It was very hard. It laid the groundwork for this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true.
You know,
but yeah, no, fucking obviously not the asshole.
You might be like, well, Sarah, this is not a discussion. This is a podcast. It's about discussing. Well, you know what we can discuss? All of the other commenters on this Reddit post giving their stories, which I have 3 picked out.
Okay. Fuck.
Obviously not the asshole. Just want to share these stories. Okay.
I'm so.
And Josh, you can just chill out.
102 right now. My heartbeat.
It's very short. They're very short.
Cool.
I just want to say, as someone who also had to have an unwanted hysterectomy, that I'm sorry for what you've lost. It gets easier in time.
Okay.
My wife had placenta precreta that in the end required a hysterectomy. Long story short, we moved across country just as we learned she was pregnant. She had complications, and the religious hospital that we went to totally ignored, parentheses, lied, about how serious it was. We had to travel back to our original home state to receive the care we needed. Unfortunately, lost the pregnancy and ability to have additional children.
Oh, fuck.
And yes, we have those same parents, quote unquote, that voted against her right to be here today. We hardly talk to one and do not talk to another.
Yeah.
Even when your daughter and in-law goes through something that's scary, they shouldn't change their beliefs. Or they couldn't change their beliefs. Sorry, not shouldn't. As much as it may hurt, those types of people will never understand it. Move on. You'll be better off in the long run. Your sanity is more important than her hate.
That's 100% correct. Yeah.
And then I have one very long one that I do want to read.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get through it and we'll move on.
Yeah.
Honestly, people are thinking banning abortion saves lives. It doesn't. If you've got a 16-year-old girl who is forced against her will to have sex, even once and gets pregnant, and I won't want to edit is raped, even once and gets pregnant, who's to say that she could raise that child when she is still but a child herself? She might have family to help her, but she might not. Now, instead of being able to choose whether or not she believes she's ready to become a mother or carry a child that was conceived through such traumatic means, some women/girls can do it, some can't. She's forced to. If she's not ready, you know what happens? That child gets neglected and either dies in infantry or childhood, or the girl commits suicide. Now, because one choice was taken away, you've ruined countless lives. Her friends, any family she might have had, teachers she may have been close to, even the cashier at her local grocery store. Another option, adoption. But who's to say that child ends up in a good home? Who's to say that child doesn't grow up resenting her mother for giving them away? Or grows up in a mentally unstable home and becomes another school shooter or something? Now, everything could be fine and work out okay, but realistically in this country, what's the likelihood of that happening? The other side of that is a woman has an unplanned pregnancy, forced pregnancy, or a planned one. The first and third option, something goes wrong, like it unfortunately did for OP, and there's a need to abort. They might not be able to have one because of the abortion ban. Now, not only have you lost a child due to unforeseen events, but you've also lost a woman which affects so many other people to the point other children are affected either directly, as she could work with children or have nieces and nephews, kids of her own, or her family is so devastated they can't snap out of whatever for a while. The second option is basically everything I explained above. But another thing, because someone said that states would be able to choose if they want to ban abortion, here's the problem with that. If you need one because you're not mentally ready for motherhood, you now need to travel possibly several states just to get an abortion, which I don't think would be allowed. But if it is, you've now wasted money on gas and whatever else, or a plane ticket, just to have a procedure you should have been able to have at home. The flip side, you need an emergency abortion. OP stated that in her state, you need a legal team in order to get one. What if you don't have money for a lawyer? Is the government going to pay for every woman in America to have lawyers in case of a needed abortion? Because if not, then they shouldn't be making such important decisions for us. A woman may not have time to wait for a lawyer to explain why her abortion is necessary or to travel states to save her life. The ban on abortion would ruin more lives than it would save, if you ask me.
Yeah. No, yeah, the ban is going to kill more people. Like,
they're not pro-life.
They're not. They never have been. They never will be.
And, you could tell because immediately after the election, everyone was like, your body, my choice.
Yeah.
It was never about life in the first place.
That's the thing. I didn't bring it up during the election talk, and I probably should have. Because it affects everybody, but like personally, I'm an uncle now, and to a beautiful baby niece right now, toddler. I don't know what the age is right now. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrifying.
Baby. Newborn. Yeah.
Newborn. Yeah. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, she was born without abortion rights.
Yeah. To even like think that, and like that's one of the first rights that's going to be taken away of many other rights, probably.
But in Florida, yeah.
In Florida,
it doesn't really.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's really, it's just so fucked. I don't know. It's
born past a codified Roe versus Wade. It does a national abortion ban. Trump installs himself as some sort of, extends the presidential term. Installs a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
2. It could be up to 50 years of us dealing with this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's awful. It's terrifying. Yeah.
These people that believe that this shit is pro-life, that's going to save lives, are charitably delusional, at worst, lying murderers.
Yeah.
I don't. Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
People that want women to die and are lying.
Yeah.
But I bring up gender too much. there's not a problem.
You gotta let me speak more during my stories.
I know. I have to shut the fuck up, or else we won't. Yeah. The fans, Josh. They need me to shut the fuck up, dude.
God, that's so fucking crazy. Fuck.
How did I not have an absolute my mental breakdown was limited.
I mean, you were looking up mental hospitals. So,
I did.
I
did
think
do
it's
that.
to that point. So let's calm down for a second. Let's give you some grace. All right.
I'm just saying, I'm strong as fuck, bro. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, everyone. Clap.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, that's a serious one. Josh, what's your silly one next? Do a
how
silly
do I get out
one
of
for
this
me.
hole?
Oh, you a woman talking about abortion rights. Oh, you, I'm a man. I'm Joshua Chinlin. I can't get out of this. I'm trying to get the most amount of dislikes we possibly can.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I really do. It's not going to fuck us over.
I mean, everyone knows dislikes don't do anything.
That is true. You're right. All right. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do this one. All right. Am I the asshole for painting my 4-year-old son's nails?
How dare you?
Woke.
DEI. What, you're trying to trans your son or whatever?
If only that was a joke. Recently, my 4-year-old son has asked me to paint his nails. He loves colors and stickers. My husband and I talked it over, and we decided that we should paint his nails like he asked.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure we aren't feeding him outdated gender stereotypes, and we also wanted to teach him how to be comfortable in his skin.
Okay.
He went to preschool yesterday with painted nails, and he had a great day.
And someone had a fucking heart attack.
None of the kids were weird about it.
Okay, great.
However, with Thanksgiving coming up, I thought I should forewarn my family that his nails might be painted so that they weren't shocked when they saw them.
Dude, and it's Linda from the...
it's
the same lady. Sorry, I'll shut
fuck vegans, fuck nails on boys. Yeah. I knew that this would be controversial based on past experiences. Unsurprisingly, my mom and one of my siblings were not thrilled. My mom said she was worried and he would get picked on, and also worried that we would confuse him. She said that, yeah. She said he should know that some things are for boys and some things are for girls. I don't agree with applying gender conventions to nail polish for a 4-year-old who, and I may...
Yeah.
barely knows his shapes, and I made this clear. And I also brought up an instance where my dad was annoyed because my son dressed as a witch for Halloween, and he thought his costume was too girly. He told me that next year when he's in school, he needs to dress in a boy's costume, which I also don't agree with.
My God.
We ended up going back and forth in the family group chat. My sibling texted me separately to tell me that I need to knock it off.
Why?
I shouldn't be angry.
You're not involved.
And I shouldn't argue with my parents because they are in their 60s.
And that's the age when people stop arguing with you?
I guess so, yeah.
So when I'm 60 and I can run around and be like, hey, women deserve health rights?
Also, if you're 60, yeah, you don't get to vote if you don't get to argue anymore. Sorry. That's not... That's how it should be. If you can vote, I'm allowed to fucking argue with you.
Yeah.
If you're old enough to vote, yeah.
Don't we all believe in the marketplace of ideas or whatever?
Yeah,
these stupid people believe in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, I knew this was going to be an issue, and I was just trying to prevent any weirdness during Thanksgiving dinner. My family would never say anything negative to my son. They would be loving and complimentary to him. However, they would make thinly veiled, quote, jokes to my husband and I for putting our foot down and saying no to the kids, or how our, quote, millennial parenting is silly.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for trying to have this conversation early, for being annoyed at their reactions and painting my little boy's nails?
You know, I want to apologize to millennials.
Yeah, you guys got fucked over by... yeah, you guys
got a lot of shit, man. You really did. And I'm not just saying this because I need money. And you guys apparently have all the money.
Compared to Gen Z, yeah.
Well, compared to you complaining. But me too.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah, us specifically, yeah.
Us, both of us, Gen Z and millennials. And also, like, every time I go on TikTok now, a bunch of Gen Zers are just like, ooh, I want my body to be tea. And it's just like this, you know, they're bringing heroin chic back. They're bringing the R slur back. They love misogyny. They love ableism. And it's fucking going around. And I mean, we're elder Gen Zers, you know, we were at the cusp.
Yeah.
And someone in our comments said, elder millennials and younger millennials are like different in the way that older Gen Zers and younger Gen Zers are different.
That is so true, though. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it really is like
Yeah.
us in the middle. We just need to be where the only reason we're beefing is because of this stupid divide that was man-made.
Yeah, like there's no fucking reason. Yeah.
If you're born around the same time, if you experience the same fucking events, you're more likely to
Yeah.
be more like-minded.
Yeah. Yeah, it's stupid. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But which makes it even more funny that this guy's like, oh, you're millennial parenting. Like, come on.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
Dude, fucking, like, you were a good parent, apparently not. You seem
Yeah.
fucking annoying.
Dude, you can't even handle a witch costume.
Yeah.
You know what's baller about being a witch? Why a little boy wants to be a witch? Because they can do fucking magic.
Yeah.
You
Also,
can't
they get a
even
cool-
imagine.
Yeah, like wearing a cool, like, pointy black hat, like, fucking...
Dude, I get it.
Yeah,
Witch
fuck
aesthetic
it.
is baller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit,
Who
man?
gives a damn?
God, and like, if that kid does end up, like, being trans, they're gonna blame
Yeah.
the parents for, like, see, this is what you painted their nails. You painted the nails, and now they're trans.
I know that like it's shitty to say that everyone that is homophobic is secretly gay, and I don't believe it, but I do
No,
think
I don't believe it either.
there
yeah.
is like a higher there is genuine hatred. I'm not saying that there's not genuine hatred and homophobia that exists, transphobia.
Yeah.
But a lot of these people, it's like, why are you bothered?
Yeah, like, it's not even...
What is getting in your brain?
Yeah. It's a little bit of paint on nails, like 0.1% of your body.
And he wore a silly hat. Like, what is wrong with you? I
That's
don't
offensive
get it.
to me.
That's
Also,
offensive to me. He needed to be Bob the
Well,
Builder.
they're gonna get made fun of. Oh, they didn't get made fun of when he went to
They
school
didn't.
with it.
Which is their biggest fear, is it being normalized.
Yeah.
Because they need, like, being trans and being gay to be a choice.
Yeah, as
And
opposed
not
to...
an inevitable thing.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where, early on in the podcast, this episode, I said, we've dehumanized each other so much. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
I literally don't care if that kid grows up, doesn't have access to trans healthcare, and kills herself. Or themselves. I don't care as long as my inner ideological world is safe and being trans is a choice to get attention or something in my mind.
Yeah, as opposed to it being like a thing that you're born with that you can't control. And yeah.
And I mean, to me, the logical conclusion to that is, why do you want it to be a choice? So you can decide to say no.
That's the
So
other
that
thing
you've
too.
been hurting yourself this whole time, but denying your shit. Yeah,
and that's the other thing too, is like you're making the choice
But it's not
to be
everybody.
No,
But I
yeah,
know.
it's
Yeah.
That's the thing too, is like you're making the choice to be bigoted, but like you
Yeah.
also can make the
Yeah.
choice right now to like
Be kind.
and also if you wanted to, if you thought about putting nails on at some point,
You
fuck it,
could.
you could have. There's
Yeah.
nothing stopping you other than yourself and the societal norms that you could change by being part of a group of people that go against it. But no,
Trevor Moore, may he rest in peace, did a song on his album. I think it's either High in Church or it's the one after or before.
Yeah.
It's about like legalizing. It's about like legalizing gay marriage, but it's a country song of a guy that was like driving a truck home.
Oh yeah.
And then because
gays
they
got married,
then the
yeah.
gays got married, and about how he's like forced to kiss men.
Yeah.
And be in a loving, consensual relationship with men.
Yeah.
But he can't do that, so he just stays down at a bunker and never goes outside and hates on men. And it's so like, hates on gay people. It's so true, fam.
Yeah.
It's real.
God. I don't know.
Got too soon.
Fucking, yeah, honestly, if we need him.
Yeah,
we
for
need
real.
him now more than ever. Yeah. Solved it. Yeah, you're not
Solved
the
it.
asshole, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
And thank you for trying to honestly break the cycle.
And also, yeah, being like, fucking, I'll listen to my son about whatever he wants right now. You know, I think, I'm not gonna be like, no.
No. It's like people want you to stop having fun with your child.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I don't get. And I think that's why every time people like this, they have a trans loved one or their loved one comes out as trans, they're like, oh, wait, I'm wrong. Like every time.
Yeah.
Except for Elon Musk, apparently, because that shmoney.
Gotta have that shmoney. Yeah.
That shmoney is
Well,
better
it's not
than
every
your
time. There's a lot of
child's
people that'll
love.
still stay bigoted. Yes.
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah. No, yeah, it's crazy.
But it's a lot of times.
Yeah, a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Solved it.
Anyway, solved it.
All right.
Okay.
2 more stories, right? From each of us?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Am I overreacting? My husband screamed at me during a medical emergency, and now I am thinking of leaving. And trigger warning, this is also a very serious one. This is abuse.
Okay.
There's abuse in this one, emotional, psychological abuse, screaming, that stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a good metaphor for what's happening.
Yeah. Okay.
Right
Gotcha.
I am a type 1 diabetic. I have a few children. Last night I was switching insulin due to insurance changes. I had my daughter on my lap and suddenly my eyesight started like pulsing. I had an aura and confusion and I called him over to help. I was trying not to concern the children, but I couldn't find the words to say what was happening. He started yelling, "What's up? What's happening?" I'm not going to yell the entire time.
No, yeah.
He started yelling, "What's up? What's happening?" I don't know. Something's wrong. He threw his hands in the air and said, "Well, let me know when you know what's happening."
Oh my God.
And he left the room. I was fighting for consciousness and I had to yell to get him back in the room and screamed, "I'm about to faint." He berated me all the way into the bedroom where I was going to lay down and I was screaming back at him, "This is so fucked up. This is so fucked up. Why are you screaming at me?" And he said that I screamed at him and so I should be held accountable for how I treat him and that he's allowed to react to how I treat him.
You should be held by around your and just like
oh, but I can't say.
Yeah, it's gonna get censored. But I'm pissed off right now.
Bullshit. Double
it's gonna
standard.
Just be held by a blank on a blank. And it's like you guys can figure it out.
You guys can figure it out. She said that I screamed at him, so I should be held accountable for how I tweet him, and that he's allowed to react to how I tweet him. I was in the middle of a medical emergency, and he ignored me and screamed at me because apparently I wasn't polite about it. He thinks I'm being dramatic. This nor anything like it has ever happened. I'm really, usually very much in control of my disease. He doesn't think he did anything wrong. Yeah, this is abuse.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Fucking, God. Yeah, like, I get what you mean. It's like a perfect metaphor. Because, like, it's, because, yeah, it's like there's a group of people that are going through it. And then, like, another group of people being like, I can't fucking believe you're upset about this. I can't fucking, like.
I hope that, only the people that skip the political stuff and you know,
or the media analysis.
The media analysis or whatever. They don't really engage with this podcast fully. They only engage with the Reddit stuff because that's all they want to do because they don't want to read. I hope they get pissed when I don't talk about the Reddits. And you do and that. I just talk about the election like I'm using these stories as a metaphor. I hope so because this is like showing to me. This is like showing Subway Surfers.
Yeah.
Next to like
also
reading you the Communist Manifesto.
Everything's political, like art's political.
Yes,
like,
and
I mean, Reddit stories. There is a political element because there are ideologies behind everyone's decision making.
Even if they're fake, it's still a written story.
Yeah.
So obviously there's going to be political.
Yeah,
usually also if it's fake, it's written for a political intention.
Yeah. If nothing else, like
to make a woman look crazy and to make you think that that's all women.
Another thing I didn't bring up earlier that I should have brought up.
Yeah.
Fucking the thing I'm most worried about is like another fucking like Gamergate happening, but just like on a much more massive scale. And I don't know like if it would be like a one singular thing, but
I think that's wild because it's like, I mean, I do think yes, but I think like a Gamergate happening on a much massive scale is like they're already getting what they want.
Yeah.
Like they just want, but I agree because what they actually want is everyone else to shut up and suck their cocks. But that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter to me whether or not Gamergate happens. I'm never going to suck your cock.
Yeah. I hope so because we're together.
I mean, yeah, we're together. I'm never going to suck some sweaty dude's cock.
Yeah, that is this disrespectful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Holy shit.
Yeah, that is abuse.
That is for sure abuse. Yeah.
If your husband cares more about yelling at you than taking you to the hospital, that is abuse. And I hope that she gets out.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah.
But I hope that we all can point at abusers like this in all aspects of our life and laugh at them and say, "You're a little bitch for wanting me to like you."
Yeah. And when you act this
when
way.
you treat me like shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I would like you if you treated me better.
Yeah.
And that's the long and short of it.
Yeah. Damn.
I hope this person gets out and it's
I
fine.
hope so too, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus. Solved it?
Solved it.
Am I the asshole for refusing to sleep in my boyfriend's dirty bed?
I don't know. Sounds like no, but usually sometimes it's a twick.
Yeah.
It's a little trick.
Last night, I, 41 female, had planned to stay the night at my boyfriend's place, 39, who lives about an hour away from me. We went out to watch a band play, had a good time, and grabbed some food on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
My boyfriend knows that I'm particular about the bed, and I almost always change his bed sheets when I come over because he rarely changes them.
Okay.
Well, last night, when I was going to change the bed, he wouldn't let me. He had a dirty, ripped up fitted sheet that wasn't even stretched over the entire mattress, leaving half of it bare, and the side that was covered was full of big holes revealing the dirty mattress underneath.
Oh my God.
I told him there was no way I was sleeping in a bed like that and asked him to let me fix it.
Dude, you can get sick.
Yeah. It would have taken me 3 minutes, and he didn't have to do anything. He said the bed was fine, turned out the lights, and hopped in. I continued to beg him to let me put fresh sheets on, and I threatened to drive home, but he said I was being ridiculous.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're about to see ridiculous, I think.
I asked if I can get a blanket to lie on the couch, and he threw a dirty stained mattress cover at me and said, quote, "Use this."
What the fuck?
This
guy is from hell.
Yeah. We had planned to go to his family the next morning, but I told him as I was leaving that I wasn't driving all the way back.
Yeah,
sorry. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I missed a sentence.
Okay.
So I left and drove all the way home at 2 a.m. We had planned to go to his family's the next morning, but I told him as I was leaving that I wasn't driving all the way back. The next morning, he was calling me, asking why I wasn't at his family's as planned. I told him I wasn't driving all the way back after having to drive home last night.
Yes.
He said I was rude for not going to his family's and is now mad at me.
Listen, if all of these are fake, right? Because it's like, why are they all the same? Why are they literally all the same story?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. It's like, come on, guys. You put a little elbow grease in there.
Yeah.
Shit,
and
dude.
if they're all real, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on? Are we all having a mass psychosis?
Apparently.
And listen, also, real quick, obviously NTA. Obviously,
yeah,
fucking
I agree.
And like, it's about, I've been gross before. Like, sometimes I'm, disability affects me. Like,
no, yeah.
Like depression, ADHD, whatever.
Mm.
If you were like, this mattress is dirty, Sarah, I can't sleep here. It's going to cause a sickness. And I was like, I would be like, you know what, you're right. I shouldn't be sick right now.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do this. I'm sorry. Can you help me? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Then we worked together.
And also you were offering to help. Like, I'll do it. You don't have to do anything.
She wasn't even like being like,
You do
ew,
it.
you're disgusting or whatever.
Yeah.
And then his response is, you're ridiculous, throws a dirty sheet at her.
Yeah, and use this motherfucker.
And calls her rude.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, yeah, no, what the fuck is going on, dude?
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Man.
I don't know. I'm just like, are you fucking for real? Like,
Yeah.
No. And then he's still like, are you coming to see my parents the next
what?
day?
Yeah, what's
It's
going on?
Am I the ex or something? Like,
no,
shit.
it should be, though.
It
if
should
it isn't.
be. Yeah. No, you're gone. I wouldn't even be like, okay, can I sleep on the couch?
Yeah, I would have given up at that point. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, baby, but like, fucking,
Yeah.
so sorry. Hey, no, it's fine. You're being ridiculous. Okay, can I please sleep in a different area? Nah, I'm gone, bro. As soon as you call me ridiculous, I'm like, okay, yeah.
All right, yeah, I guess I am ridiculous.
God, I'm gonna get so ridiculous
You're
right
not even
now.
gonna imagine what's gonna happen next. Yeah.
Dude, it's gonna be on the news how ridiculous I am.
Shit,
Whoa.
okay, whoa.
Yeah.
God, yeah, no.
Local woman wears a clown costume.
Yeah, that's what the news would do. Yeah.
It looks very silly.
It's the last piece they do before the late night shows.
Yeah.
Like on the plus side today,
local woman wears clown costume.
Yeah, that's totally what we mean.
Yeah.
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 Jesus. Solved it. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. I'm just saying, get better at writing these.
Fucking assholes.
Like I read a lot of these, and I just come on. Okay, this is ask women over 40.
Okay.
Which I have seen ask men over 50, which I think is interesting, and it's just like
people over the age of 50
asking them questions and shit, or just this is more like I guess advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. So okay.
I think I found out my husband doesn't love me.
Okay.
My 40 female husband, 42 male, of 20 years is going through a typical midlife crisis. He's told me that he is unhappy in our relationship, even though up until recently everything was good, no complaints. He has a long list of things he's unhappy about in our relationship. Mostly typical midlife things, not enough sex, not enough spontaneity, etc. I asked him if all of this was true. Why does he stay? Why does he even want to be with me?
I really want to say baller. I think
It's
that's
baller.
so that's amazing. Actually, yeah. Call it out.
And the only things he could list were things I've done for him. Moving for his job a bunch of times, quitting my college to move by his family, being a stay-at-home mom for 18 years.
Like not even like saying fucking personality, like nothing like that.
Keeping everything running smoothly and peacefully at home. I told him those are not me, not personality traits, but things I have done for him.
Yeah.
He still couldn't come up with anything he likes about me that wasn't directly tied to an increase in his quality of life. Is it that hard to say you're smart and interesting and I like spending time with you?
It's not that difficult to say at all.
Now I just feel like I've been a utility in his life. Has anyone been through this? Where do I go from here? When I tried explaining why that was hurtful, he didn't get it. Okay, sorry.
No, it's fucking crazy.
He basically said, aren't you happy that I appreciate those things? And now I'm wondering if I am asking too much. Maybe I should be happy that he appreciates the sacrifices I've made for our family.
No, that's crazy. I feel like, okay, even if it was like quote unquote acceptable to say that, no riz. There's not a good thing there.
No riz?
No fucking riz. Yeah,
No
there's no
riz.
riz. Cause like you're fucking,
That is true.
you're just
He
saying
could have
shit.
just lied, honestly.
You're not
too.
a fucking, you're not doing a performance review right now. We're not doing a fucking, why are you treating me like a fucking worker? Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Like, everyone says that like when you're dating, men's worst nightmares that a woman catfish them by being fatter than their profile picture or something.
Yeah, I know that's of the devil. Yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah, and or that the cake at the wedding is vegan and she didn't know.
Yeah, I know that's also the devil. Also
yeah,
sucks.
that's the devil. But
yeah, what's woman's worst fears?
it's a woman's worst fear is getting raped or whatever. Yeah, you're right. It is a woman's worst fear, safety, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We should talk about women's medium fears. Growing up into a relationship where he doesn't actually love you, he just loves you being a little worker bee in the house.
Like,
That's like, I thought about it, I was like, oh man, this is my worst fear. Then I was like, no, rape, probably.
rape is still the worst fear, yeah.
Or like murder.
Second
I think,
worst
for
fear
me.
is like, oh fuck,
Dying.
Josh doesn't like when I play guitar anymore. Fuck.
Yeah, like Josh hates
That
it.
would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
Especially since we spent like 30 minutes before the show and just like watching you play guitar, and that was like
yeah, because
honestly calming.
it
Yeah.
calmed my anxiety down a lot.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man.
This is maybe my medium fear.
That's a reasonable medium fear.
Most women's medium fear is he just likes what I do for him,
Yeah. Jesus.
but not me as a person. The ending of
Like
Our
even
Town.
in Marriage Story, they said like good things about their
I
personalities.
know.
And then they
that was
fucking,
what made it compelling. Was they actually did like each other until the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, that guy. Midlife crisis is not the excuse here either, because like,
No, it's not. And women in the comments too were like, all men going through a quote unquote midlife crisis need to be left. And I was like, I feel like getting afraid of getting old is a normal feeling.
I think that's normal, but the way that
Taking
we
it
as
out
a
on your wife.
society, yeah, like have just accepted it. Like it's crazy how we, approach that.
Like a man can have a midlife crisis and divorce his wife and need quote unquote
Get the red
thrill
convertible
or whatever.
and, yeah.
But then like God forbid a woman wants to get a hobby. God fucking forbid.
Crazy. That's just crazy.
That is crazy.
Solved it? I'm going to say solved it because I don't know what else to say.
Can you imagine that kind of hell? Can you as a man imagine that hell of someone not knowing who you are?
Yep. Yeah, I can actually. Real easily. It's not even like a question. It's like, no, that's an easy thought. Yeah.
And I assume it's other men.
Partially, yeah.
Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah.
God, I love that. I love the cannibalism of patriarchy, actually. Doesn't make me want to die. Okay. All right. Oh, this is our last one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, shit.
And we're done. That's nice.
Yeah, man, it really is like weddings and like boyfriends being shitty because my last one's also about a boyfriend. Whatever.
I mean, whatever.
Synergy, all right?
All of these ones have people in them.
Yeah.
God damn it. Where's the ones about monsters?
Right. Yeah, I'll just shut up forever.
Where's the whale am I the asshole stories? The ones about whales having arguments.
Okay.
He ate my krill.
Bastard.
That bastard.
Am I the asshole for having a major argument with my boyfriend for canceling on me, parentheses, to help me with work to see a friend? So long story short, my boyfriend of 5 years was supposed to help with work today. I am a small business owner of a lifestyle/home decor company. We are launching a new product. I initially hired a videographer to do the video, but the video he made was not good, nor what I was looking for. So the last minute, I decided to do the video myself. Fucking same, dude. I needed... Dude, same.
Okay, yeah.
I needed another person to help me with the filming, as the video could not be filmed on a tripod. Tried, wasn't happy with the result.
Okay.
Fair
enough.
The filming would have not taken more than 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
I asked him yesterday morning if he was available to help me the next day, telling him that I needed to film tomorrow, and it has to be done during the day because of the light. He told me he was free tomorrow and will help me.
Okay.
Fast forward today, I wait for him to wake up, and I ask him what times works best for him to go and shoot the video. And he tells me that he won't have time today, as he had just agreed to meet a friend for lunch, and afterwards, he made plans to play basketball with friends, and told me we can do it tomorrow instead. Safe to say, I got really angry at him, as he canceled on me last minute, leaving me in a stupid position where I have to figure out a way to film the video very last minute. We got into a huge argument. He claims that I'm overreacting and blowing things out of proportion.
Of course he does.
Well, I think what he did is rude and unfair, as he made plans with me prior to making plans with his friends. Plus, it was work-related stuff that he canceled on, and he could have just simply moved meeting with his friend for an hour later or rescheduled it for later that day or the next day. Edit, and this edit does not need to be here.
Oh, God.
But because it's a woman, I think this is why the edit had to be made.
Right.
I am self-employed and I have a small business, parentheses, lifestyle/home decor products. This was said in the post. And sometimes I require help from other people. I don't have a company of 40 plus people. We are only 4 people and everyone is remote. I do the creative work of the company and usually film everything myself with a tripod or hire photographers/videographers. But in this case, the videographer I hired didn't do a good job, so I was running out of time. I didn't have time for the guy to refilm and re-edit the video. So I decided to do the video for myself and ask my boyfriend to help last minute. Hope this answers all the questions on what kind of job I had.
You just had to redo the whole post.
The whole post in one paragraph.
Oh my God, it would drive me insane.
Yeah, no, it's not fucking. I think that's the reason why I picked that one too, because I was like,
yeah.
Are you fucking serious, guys?
We just read it, yeah. Like, what? This is a reading app. It's called Reddit.
It's called Reddit, dude.
Bro, what?
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're not the asshole.
No.
As a professional videographer, technically, I guess.
Oh yeah, you have.
Well, I've done videography work and I've done film work, and there's one thing that is true in everything: you'd never fucking cancel last minute. Like, I know that this guy, I know he's not a videographer, your boyfriend, but when it comes to shooting shit for a business,
you have to.
You got to do it day of. Like, yeah.
And I will say, just from a personal level, if you don't do something and then your partner does it with something else.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like a date or sex, I think you can be mad. You cannot be mad at them for going and hanging out with someone else.
Yeah.
I also think in general, person to person, like, if I have plans, and I mean, this is how our relationship got started.
Yeah.
I was casually dating a man.
Yeah.
A boy. who we were not official, so it was fine. But he wanted to go on a date with me. He had ghosted me for a month. He was like one of those orbiters.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and he came back and was like, hey, you want to go on a date? Really meant, let's go have sex. And I was like, hell yeah, whatever. I'm alone.
Hell yeah, brother.
I don't have anything to do with Saturday night. I guess I'll have sex with someone. And I was like, I don't give a shit. He cancels last minute. He's like, oh, yeah, sorry, I did a bunch of other shit. And I was like, fine, I'm going on Tinder then. But I know if I told that guy, he would be like, even though he wouldn't be like, you're my girlfriend, we're dating.
And like you decided to ghost me and cancel me. Like, yeah, I'm going to do other stuff then. And you shouldn't, don't get mad at me for doing other stuff. Yeah.
And then later when I told him I was dating someone who actually wanted to commit to me, he was like, he wasn't upset. He was just like, oh, I wish I knew. And I was like, I wish I knew. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, well, we tried to hang out multiple times, and he was like, "Yeah, fair enough." And I was like, "Okay, great."
Okay, all right. At least you understand.
I don't want to mischaracterize him. He was severely cool about it, so that's great.
Good. Yeah.
Pretty much everyone I dated was severely cool about breaking up, except for the ones that broke up with me.
Ooh. Damn.
But but it's just like I don't know why this happens, and it isn't just men. It isn't just men, it's people. Yeah. It's, I want to hurt you. I'm hurting you now. Ooh, I'm hurting you. Yeah. You're getting hurt.
Hey, this thing I promised? Fuck that, actually. That. I'm going to go do something else.
And then you have a reaction that isn't abusive. It isn't an overreaction. It isn't calling the cops on them. It isn't stabbing them to death. It isn't doing a murder. It isn't violence.
You're frustrated because someone made a promise.
You have a reasonable reaction. And then they're like, how dare you? The consequences of my own actions?
5 years in, too, by the way. I want to bring that up because that's crazy. That, like...
And now I'm past the point of these Reddit stories being fake. Now I think they're all real.
I think that one's real, too, because there were a lot of spelling errors as well. Like,
well, I think also it's like, I think we are getting stupider as a society. And I know we're getting stupider. Yeah. Like reading comprehension.
Yeah, that chart
that
of all
statistic really confirmed a lot of shit for me.
Yeah.
But I correlate that with a lack of like relationship. Oh God, what is the word? Like a lack of communication, emotional intelligence.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not just intelligence.
Yeah, there's emotional intelligence as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, we don't really give a shit. Like, for already underfunded schools, we don't really teach about, like, emotions.
They didn't teach me this shit until I had to learn about it from Reddit. I had to learn about what abuse was in a real-life scenario from Reddit. The abuse that they showed on sitcoms or whatever, it was like, I'm yelling at you and I'm waving a gun. And it's like, that's not how it is. Yeah. I'm a literal monster. And it's like, no, sometimes most of the times it's people you care about.
Yeah. God, man.
And most of the times, too, they make you feel real good.
But every once in a while, they use that against you.
Yeah, they do some baby back really bullshit.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of it.
And then you think about, well, I mean, there's still the good times. And then you just kind of get locked in the cycle of...
And people don't want to read up on it because they don't want to read.
Yeah.
They just want to be able to go about their day and everything that they've done is perfect and everything that they were criticized for was bad and whatever. And I'm just like, okay, sure, whatever. With people like that, you just got to move on. You just got to move on. Hopefully they learn.
Oh, yeah.
In the future.
Yeah. I hope so too, yeah, but...
They're not irredeemable. They just need to grow up.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus, man.
Yeah.
I want to know what the videographer did.
I know. What did he do?
Yeah.
Maybe it was the tripod. Like he put it on a tripod.
Okay.
And then he just didn't care about how it looked. And the person was like, I don't like that actually.
Yeah. That sucks. Yeah. Damn.
Or like didn't catch it, whatever it was. I wonder what the actual, is like a baking company?
Home decor.
Home decor.
Yeah. It's like a small business apparently.
I don't know.
Fucked up taking a photo of a chair, my guy. That's crazy.
I know. That's wild.
Dude. Chair.
Yeah, it's a dang chair.
I'll give you a real hint. Just flip it this way. Maybe go from landscape to portrait. You might have a better time.
That's very
Well,
silly.
it's a video, so it's not. I mean, vertical video.
But
We can make vertical
video,
short-term content about this chair.
Yeah, but then, hear me out. What if we had an app where quick bites, or like quick bites of content that you watch on your phone?
Fucking bring up Quibi
well,
here.
because then, like, you can watch it horizontal, right? But then when you turn it, it turns also. Just like what you were saying with the horizontal, whatever. You could see the chair in a different way.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, I was saying that.
We could even call it Quibi.
Shut the fuck up,
Let me get
dude.
through my Monopoly man. My Monopoly guy.
Okay. I wasn't even thinking about Quibi. The last time I thought about it was during that Reno 911 clip that we watched.
Where apparently it was
immediately
on Quibi.
Immediately forgot. And you were fucking holding on to it.
Yes.
Like a fucking otter with a fucking rock. You
Yeah.
were holding on to it.
And my rock
to
is
pull out,
Quibi.
and you decided on an international show.
My favorite walk is Quibi. Is the concept of Quibi.
Where like people respect us. You decided to
and I was gonna say too, Quibi did have a use, and it's making me laugh every couple of months when I remember it ever
and you
existed.
rewatch the Some More News video on it, where they
About
just
it.
keep dunking
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
It did good
Talk
things
about a metaphor for society.
for
yeah.
creating art. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make your shitty app. Don't use AI, but make your shitty app.
Yeah.
Make that stupid thing, because if it fails, at least it'll be funny to me
That is true.
when I bully it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solved it. And that's our show. Sarah,
Woo!
do you want to plug anything?
No, fuck off.
Don't fuck off with me, though. That's fucking... I'm Joshua Chinland on most things. I'm going to be probably on Blue Sky.
I'm free. I feel
Sarah's
fucking
free. I'm a guy nicknamed JC on Twitch. I'm going to be this week. The podcast goes out. I'll be streaming Wednesday and Friday, 5 to 9. And also on TikTok as well at APWSTR. Podcast will save this on Instagram. APWSTR Productions on YouTube. A podcast will save this relationship on all podcasting platforms. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the gosh darn bell, raise 5 stars on Apple and Spotify podcasts.
Yeah.
Fucking fly flew by me.
Merch goes to PCRF. Palestine, Sudan, Congo, Lebanon, hurricane relief, maybe.
Possibly, if it's still
if it's still
available.
in there.
Yeah.
Might just leave it in just cause. Who knows?
Distributed convenient links are down in the description as well. And I think that's everything for the most part.
Buy our coffee?
Buy our coffee as well. Yeah.
They're really good.
StraightRiverCoffee.com.
Probably my
awesome.
favorite thing we've ever made.
Honestly, yeah, that's
Use
we
it
peaked.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta order more.
I know.
Fuck.
Wait, I feel like we say this every 2 weeks.
I forget. Yeah, but I keep forgetting to.
Yeah.
Fuck. Hey guys, if you're watching this right now,
hey guys, can you
just real quick.
Hi, please.
But yeah, enjoy the rest of your time, guys. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, you're bringing out the guitar for the outro? I mean, they're probably not gonna be able to hear it.
I don't care.
Okay.
At least I'll have it and I'll look cool.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. You could talk also so that there's less pressure on me.
Oh, you know that bit we have to do that we haven't done like in like 5 years because we became old and jaded?
What?
Where you read a Reddit story or I read a Reddit story and the other one does the 90s chords. Do you remember doing that?
No, I don't remember doing that at all.
I did the...
How many Reddit stories have we done?
This was before we did Reddit on the podcast too, I think.
Ooh, well, then I definitely don't remember it. All I ever remember is Reddit, apparently.
So what it was, to remind you,
Yeah.
it was one of us would play. I think I played the guitar because I played the chords to "Deep Inside of You" by Third Eye Blind. And you just read a Reddit story, and then every once in a while, I just like said whatever you said, like as a weird sing-song voice. Yeah. If we do a live show, that's got to be one of the bits we do, right?
We should just do that for fun. That sounds fun.